I guess that is it, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming. You guys have been great. I'll see you in the next one.
Topic Podcast, all things Nintendo. Yeah!
I was not dancing. I promise.
We got Paul here. Hey, Paul.
Hello.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Welcome to the Topic Podcast. I hope you guys like the brand new countdown song. It's a very custom made song for you guys to start off your weekend, because there is no better way to start your weekend than here at the Topic Podcast in the most positive way ever, right? What do you guys think? Is it a good way to start your weekend?
It's good.
It's good.
Is it a good way? It's a good way. I think
It's amazing.
I think it's amazing. Yeah. All right, so you guys look amazing. The cast looks amazing. I just want to go ahead and go over the crew because we got 3 cool topics. We're gonna end it with Zelda, guys, because I know you love your Zelda. We're gonna end it with Zelda today. And first, I want to introduce. Well, he came straight from the Mushroom Kingdom today, and I guess he was doing the lawn over there, or like helping Mario with something, or Luigi's Mansion. Mr. Dr. Paul Gale Network. How you doing, Paul?
Pretty good, thanks. It's been a hot day in the Mushroom Kingdom, but I was out there mowing the lawns for Princess Peach in the castle. And then I helped Mario with his swimming pool, doing some tile. And then I did some, dusting and vacuuming around Luigi's Mansion. So I was all up in the Mushroom Kingdom. And I was somewhere else, too, in Los Angeles, interviewing a certain someone.
Down there.
But I won't say who or
Yeah.
anything on that.
You got to tune in. Yeah, you got to tune in on the 13th for that specific part of the. That's all we're gonna say. 13th, Friday the 13th.
Wow,
It's a
so
secret
scary.
to everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even
All
I don't know who I just interviewed.
Right. Paul had a blindfold on, and he
I
had nothing,
wiped my own mind so I wouldn't. I would be surprised when it goes live.
Was anybody near you in a black suit with a, bright light to wave around? Do you remember any of that?
No, but some of the stuff that I was told to me, be careful, the ninjas are always watching. And I said, who taught the ninjas? So we're okay.
Yeah.
When we eventually get together for our live podcast one of these days, we won't need security. We just have Paul.
Yeah.
We have Paul.
Paul is like our Secret Service agent here.
Yep.
So,
Just
all
chill
right,
out.
moving over to Joycey J. How you doing, Joycey?
I'm trying to get my fan to work.
You need that today. It's like 100.
Is it 100 degrees where you are too?
Can you believe it? In South Texas for July, it's actually very mild.
Wow.
We've only hit 95 once this week, so it's been
that's good weather.
It's like low 90s. It's like, and so of course the news phrases it as a cold front is coming through. Okay, it's not cold.
Yep.
It's doable heat. It's like, okay, so I'm not going to go outside and just immediately pass out. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. You'll wait at least 5 minutes before you pass out.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because I live in Hyrule anyway. I just come to Texas to hop on the laptop and make sure I rap with you guys.
Yeah. Understandable. So let's go over to Hyrule next door.
Lily's my neighbor.
Lily, how you doing, Lily?
Doing great. Thank you for asking. Hope everybody had a wonderful week. I know it was a bit hectic today for everybody or for most of us, but you made it to Friday. So it's time to chill a little bit. And I just got my Nintendo World Championship Edition. Let me show you.
Ooh, let's see it.
Ooh.
I haven't opened it up yet. That's nice.
Wait, hold on. Is it 9 o'clock? Because right now GameStop is taking forever. It says by 9 p.m. you'll receive yours. Like I got the collection edition too.
Yeah.
So 9 p.m.
And that's what I played yesterday.
For you.
Yeah.
Is it being delivered?
Delivered. Yeah. It says by 9 p.m. I'm like, man, come on.
Bruh.
That's why I prefer to go in the store. I personally prefer to do that instead of getting it shipped.
They have
However,
it. They had it.
They had all the pre-orders already. Yeah.
Oh,
And
pre-order. Okay.
yeah, and the only one that I do need to get shipped is going to be the Nintendo Switch Lite, the
Yeah.
Hyrule Crest
Mhm.
edition.
Uh-huh.
And I had to pre-order it, so they need to ship it to me. So hopefully, it's fingers crossed, it's not going to take that long after it
Yeah.
gets released. Yeah, but yeah, so far that's what I tried yesterday. It was a lot of fun. There's a bunch of championships they're going to be doing and rotating every week, which is very
Nice.
and I'm not a competitive person at all, and I
Yeah.
was a bit worried, but honestly, it's very you kind of grow with experience,
Yeah.
and they can do like very small challenges that
Mhm.
anybody can do. To be honest, so it was a great experience. I totally
Pretty cool.
recommend. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I'm excited for the weekend. Yeah, all good.
That is pretty cool. And so yeah, hopefully I also pre-ordered my Switch Lite from GameStop. I don't learn, right? Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they don't. But it's not that they get it wrong, is that for some reason, okay, the day of means at night. Right before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully I'll get that
If I
soon.
could trust stores not
Mhm.
to sell the item I just like pre-ordered, then
Yeah.
I would totally do a lot more. But I'm usually pretty patient.
Mhm.
When the OG Switch was launched, of course, it
Yeah.
launched with Breath of the Wild. So,
Mhm.
but surprisingly, all I could think was I have to work half the day. I'm not going to be off until like afternoon, and then I'm probably going to want a nap, and then I'm going to get up whenever I get up and start playing. And sure enough, that's what happened. But Emilio, hi Emilio. Anyway,
Oh yeah,
but
we said it was Emilio, right?
as soon as I got off work like around noon or so.
Mhm.
The Amazon guy, this was at my really, really old place, and the mail, and it wasn't the Amazon, it was sent, for some reason, it was sent like through USPS
Yeah.
for some reason. I don't know why. And my mailman knew me, and he was smiling. He's like, "You got a big package." He's like, "What'd you get?" And I'm like, "I'm going to be playing video games." And then he looked at me like I was weird, and I was like, "I don't care." And then I took my nap, and then I got up somewhere in the middle of the night, and I made like snacks, and I sat there and I just played Breath of the Wild for like a week.
Nice.
That was a great week.
That's pretty cool. That is awesome. And so yeah, pre-orders are in. I'm still waiting for one. Hopefully we'll get that soon. And it'll be on Monday's edition of the Mike Odyssey show. Today, the Mike Odyssey show, guys, I have to apologize to everyone today that it couldn't air just because when this cable company
Outage.
Yeah, the cable company, there was a big outage, of course, nationwide, and so that delayed a lot of things. Plus, the cable company I have now, for some reason, every time it rains, they have they have their own little outage, and I have internet until the next day. And so I have to, I got to do some research. I have to get some assets and since I'm dedicating more time to editing. If you've seen the show lately, there's a lot more editing that goes on. I used to edit a video in literally, I would say about 10 to 15 minutes. Now it takes me at least 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours to edit the video. And so, yeah, it takes a little more. And because I didn't have any of my assets online, then I couldn't get to them and stuff like that. And yeah, and for some reason, Final Cut is not working well when there's no internet. That's weird. Today it opened right off the back, and then, but yeah, my Odyssey show will come back on Monday. I already have recorded the news segment that's going to continue. Since the news that hasn't gotten old yet, but today we got 3 really cool stories we're gonna go over, and we'll see what the gist is at the end of the podcast. I hope you guys all liked the brand new countdown with the custom made song of the podcast. Would you guys surprised by the song?
I was.
Cool.
It was really
cool,
good.
right? Is this the first song with your name in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
think.
because everybody has
But
their
any
name.
other songs, I don't know if I want to claim it.
So quick question:
I'll tell you after.
Is it going to be available on
iTunes, yeah.
iTunes? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
Is
in
it
case,
now?
Well,
Yeah.
not right now. I'm actually,
Okay.
It will be.
guys. I'm actually working on EP for the podcast. Okay, EP is at least 5 songs. They're all Nintendo Fun related. They all have our names in there because it's all branded in Topic Podcast. is gonna be fun. And so that's just one of them that's gonna be on it. It's all gonna be like really nice party song there if you want to play it on your birthday parties. You want to play like on the way to work, whatever. On Fridays, this is the Friday one. That's why it mentions Friday, the weekend, and the entire podcast. The other one's gonna be like, actually, no, this is the number 5. Number 4, they're all gonna be days of the week. That way, we have one for the day of the week, and it's kind of fun to listen to. But that'll be later on after we release the calendar that Paul wants to release. And
We need that.
yeah.
It's gonna be all Paul.
I'm serious. We
All
need
Paul.
that.
It's just gonna be all Paul. Just all Paul.
So
I mean, I'll do 12 months.
Yeah.
I'll-
Well, we want to
I'll do
make
12
we want to
months.
make money for whatever charity we're going to be giving that to.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be all. It's gonna have to be all you.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
give him 100%.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the topics for today. We are talking about 3 very important topics that I'm pretty sure everybody wants to know our opinions on, and we're going to cover. The first one is a recap, right? Because we've had this service for a while now in the life of the Nintendo Switch. It came after a couple of months after Switch. Nintendo introduced Nintendo Switch Online, right? And so at the time, it was just basically an online service which gave you the ability to play online with your friends. You cannot play certain games without it. You needed to play Nintendo Switch games online. And so that's how it started with the little perks here, the coins, the gold coins and the silver coins. You got little icons to decorate your profile with. And then Nintendo went and added the Nintendo NSO, the NES, right? Then they added Super Nintendo. We got Sega Genesis. We got Game Boy. We have Game Boy Advance now. And we also have Genesis, right? Sega Genesis. So, and then Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah.
All right. So,
Yep.
You mentioned GBA also?
GBA, yeah, Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so the first question that I want to throw out the chat right now, that's a recap of what we have. There's over 100 games for NES. I'm guessing there's also plenty of games for the other consoles. I know there's over 100 for NSL because it's been NES because it's the oldest one there. I don't think Nintendo's been updating as much Genesis as they've been NES, right? Sega Genesis is they started kind of at the same time. Remember how we were surprised, like, what? Genesis? This opens the door for this, and so far that door has not even been opened, just there. But the pros and cons. I want to go over all your opinions, and I want to go over. We'll go over the pros and cons, and then we'll go over the price, and we'll go how at the moment whether. And I want to shout out here this question. This is Lily. Lily, you came up with this topic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I did.
Lily. Yeah, so Lily, this is Lily's topic. She came up with it to talk about NSO because it's good to go back and see what Nintendo is providing us and whether it's worth it or not, right? So far, I want to throw it out to Lily. Sorry with Lily. Give me the pros and cons for you of NSO.
One of the things that I feel in terms of cons is that, of course, there's a price to add up to everything that you have already.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's always going to be a con because it involves you paying some money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's still a con. The other thing would be that in terms of playing online, I do understand why Nintendo needs that because, of course, there are a lot of servers that need to be handled and stuff like that. But I used to enjoy playing online without having to be, kind of locked into a rate, right?
Yeah.
But if we look at the pros, it's not expensive if you compare it with other out there, others like PlayStation or Xbox or whatever's the case. I feel that they have been working a lot on getting this pushed, and you will be surprised how many people they send message. I mean, they usually reach out to me saying, "Hey, I did not know about Nintendo NSO. Like I've never heard of it." And I feel that a lot of people are kind of missing out on that. But I also understand that it's going to be a con for those that have already purchased the older games.
Yeah.
Because I get it. I get it in a point that you purchased several of the physical ones when they originally came, and having to pay on top of that, it's kind of not ideal, right? But for me, sharing my personal experience, I go everywhere with my Switch, right? And I don't have the older console anymore. So for me, it makes sense to be paying for that service. Besides that, they're adding more and more to the catalog. Now we have a lot of games out there, and you also have the family, like the family option instead of you paying individually. So a lot of people kind of believe, oh, but I have to find like 8 family members or 7 more.
Yeah.
But no, you can invite friends. Like you don't really have to be, just looking for family, and you pay for the whole year, but you only end up paying like, I don't know, like
$70.
14, 7.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
if
like
you divide it. Yeah,
if you divide it,
$4
exactly. Yeah, that's
and 38 cents a person for basic a year.
That's
there
crazy.
you go.
$4.38 a person, split it 8 ways, or $8 a person for the expansion pack.
Wait,
a year.
It's 8 people now instead of 4?
It's always been 8.
It's always been 8.
And
that's
I
correct.
don't. I mean, I'll have my turn, but Lily's doing such a fantastic job that I'm not going to have much to say. So I just had to throw in. I just had to contribute to the math portion. But Lily, continue, because you're nailing everything that like I'm thinking.
No, it's perfect. Actually, that's why I wanted to point that out, because I feel that a lot of people are kind of under the impression that it's very expensive, that it's not something that anybody can have. And there's something out there as well. If you guys are considering getting the Nintendo Switch Lite, the Zelda edition that is being released on September 26th, they are including a whole year with the package already. So if you don't have the Nintendo Switch Online, they are including it on the Nintendo Switch.
That's good. That's interesting. That's interesting because we
can try it out.
We can get into that later, just because that could be Nintendo's way of actually price dropping.
It's a $50 value because it's the expansion pack one also.
Maybe because they still have the Animal Crossing one out there where they give you the full game for Animal Crossing. It's still out there in Walmart and it's still selling, and that comes with 3 months of NSO. And
I don't think that they force you to put your card or anything on file either. It's just that if it runs out, it runs out. But they remind you.
Yeah, it's a digital code. Yeah.
I've been with NSO for 2 years, and I have been playing every single one of the games. I do have the expansion pack though, because of course, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and of course the Minish Cap, and it's basically something that I wanted. But still, even using the expansion pack, it really adds up to my whole experience of using my Nintendo Switch. And the other thing that they occasionally run the 14-day trial. All you have to do is to link your Nintendo account, log in, and you have access to all of that within 14 days. So it's out there. Like, that service is out there. It's just people will need to start that kind of word of mouth kind of recommendation all the time. Like, I have NSO, you should try, you should get it. And I feel also that a lot of people kind of miss out from playing online and multiplayer online mode. So
every game, every multiplayer game on Switch, and Splatoon is a big franchise. Okay, Splatoon is one of the biggest multiplayer franchises on Switch, and one of the ongoing franchises. I think I love that franchise because it's so ongoing, and they all have NSO because they need it to play online. And so I think that to add to the pro is that you still need NSO to play online, and then you at least have the basic Nintendo NES. You got Game Boy. You have those games to play. Even if you don't want the expansion pack, it comes with the basic $20 a year. By the way, $20 a year here in the States. How much is it in Canada?
I had the US instead of the Canadian one.
Oh, you okay? That's smart. This is smart.
Yeah, because I was like, everybody. I think that most of watching it, they're in the US and not in Canada. Yeah, I'll give you that in a bit.
Yeah. So at least to me, that before I throw it to Josie and Paul, I think that's a good thing. That's a pro, because you get for $20 a year and then $79 a year for 8 people to join. That's crazy. That's insane, right? For the entire family. So I think it's a good value. There's a lot of games there to play. There's so much to do, so much to cover. What do you think, Paul? Take it away.
It's 20 and 35. So 20 for single and 35 for basic family, and then 50 and 80. So, I think the only reason why people got upset about it in the first place is because you're paywalling online play. instead of making it free. If they didn't call it Nintendo Switch Online, and they would call it Nintendo Switch Experience or something like that, so that people didn't feel like I'm paying for online, then you realize, hold on a minute. You're telling me that for $20 a year, I get a free game in Tetris 99 that I have access to at all times? You mean to tell me that this service also enables cloud data saves to back up all of my games to the cloud? Thanks to this service, I get the access to buy N64, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, NES, the N64, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, NES, those controllers, and enjoy them on sales. You mean to tell me that this service also gives me 7-day free, full-on, not just demos, but full-on access to entire games periodically throughout the year,
Yeah.
for 7 days at a time? And that it also comes with this $20 of value of all of these amazing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC tracks, if you're in the expansion pass one. And it's giving you access to small things here and there like Jump Rope, which came with this, Super Mario Bros. 35, that was short-lived, Pac-Man 99 that came for a while, the Animal Crossing New Horizons big DLC, edition, F-Zero 99. These are games that they're giving you.
Yeah.
New games, cool games.
And I forgot about the expansion passes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and Splatoon 2 expansion pass. Like, when you think of that as the Nintendo Switch experience, and you get to play online, by the way. That last little thing, that last little asterisk, is what holds people off, because a lot of people can't get past, they're making me pay for online. So think about this if it makes you feel better. Your online is free, and you're paying $4.38 a year for all that other stuff if you're spreading it with friends. Or your online is free, and you're going in solo, all that other stuff for $20 is well worth it. So whether you're a $20 a year person or a $35 solo, or if you're $4.38 a year because you've got 7 buddies, or an $8 a year. I mean, $8 a year is not $1 a month. You're talking about like 65 cents a month. It's amazing. Or 75 cents a month, something like that. It's outstanding. Oh, but I don't have 8 friends. Easy for you to say. Right here on the Nintopics podcast, you could talk to someone in the chat, make a friend. Hey, do you want to go half and half with me? You could go half and half, and that would be less than going single. You could go to Mike Odyssey's Discord and make a little group of the 4 of you. And then the 4 of you are now splitting 84 ways. So that's $20 for the expansion pass instead of paying $20 independently per person. There's Twitter, there's X, there's the YouTube comment sections. There's plenty of ways how to find 7 friends, 7 family members, 7 coworkers, 7 non-IRL people across the internet. But I don't know people. That's dangerous. There is a way that you could combine money, combine funds in a safe way and build up friendships online and have, trusting situations like that. But even if you're like, nope, that's totally not for me. I don't want to exchange Venmo with anybody, not IRL. At the end of the day, it's the cheapest way to have the most amount of entertainment, because everything I said earlier of the value of like Tetris 99 and F-Zero 99, the cloud save data, all that stuff, I didn't even mention. By the way, you get like 100 NES games, 50 Super Nintendo games, 20 N64 games, 20 Game Boy Advance games, 20 Game Boy games, 30 Sega Genesis games. That's 400 titles of fun. Back in the day, I rented a little bit from Blockbuster, but I rented more often from a mom and pop's video shop. And it was $2, and you could have the game for 2 days. So you rent it Friday morning, you have to give it back Saturday night. So not even a full 48 hours. That was $2 for one game for not even full 2 days. So I equate it to back in the day, because you're not owning the games here, you are renting. So back in the day, I would have to rent 10 different games in a row to build up that cost of $20. And that's it. There's my 20. So back in the day, late 80s, early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, until that shop finally went out. Actually, they stayed around until like 2015. They were around for a while, but I stopped renting by quite a bit earlier. But my point is, for the value, 10 different games, you would be done with the experience in 20 days, and there would be your $20, and that's it.
Mhm.
And now you have several hundred games that you're renting for $20 for the entire year. The value is absolutely phenomenal. Folks just got to get past, in my opinion, the man, I'm paying for online, because that's what it is, nothing's better than free, of course, but
Yeah.
it's just so much that you're getting that it's tremendous value. And you could say, yeah, but PlayStation has the bigger, newer games, like the God of War is on there. Nintendo's not putting Breath of the Wild on there.
Mhm.
Xbox is putting Doom Eternal on there and Halo Infinite, and they're going to be putting, Perfect Dark. Nintendo's not putting Animal Crossing and Super Mario Odyssey. No, but price adjusted, it's a few $100s a year versus $20.
Mhm.
And I think when you balance that out and all the other stuff, dude, it's totally worth it. I couldn't speak better on the service, and just not just the fanboy in me that like, well, I'm gonna buy it because I'm a Nintendo fan and it's attractive and I need it. Like, I also need it for online gaming. Some
Mhm.
games don't require it. Like Fortnite does not require it. You can play Fortnite online free. You don't need NSO.
Mhm.
Yeah, some games like the bigger IPs usually.
Yeah, some of these
Yeah,
third
because-
party
yeah,
titles.
they have their own servers. They just have their game on Nintendo.
Mhm.
But
They have
Smash
their own-
Bros,
Yeah,
Mario
they have their own
Kart,
server.
Animal Crossing, you need that. But even if I'm just looking at it from a basic math value standpoint, it's the
Mhm.
cheapest subscription you'll have compared to any of your Netflixes and Amazon Primes and Maxes and all this kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
you could make the argument, well, they're giving you newer stuff, but it's not that like F-Zero 99 isn't new. That is
Yeah.
a new game. So there you go.
Yeah.
It's worth
Yeah.
it. If anybody is not convinced in the chat, I'll gladly bring out Sassy Paul to have a one-on-one with you in a polite way and say, no, it is worth it.
Yeah, and I also wanted to point out that someone brought it on the chat, which is correct. The Nintendo Switch Lite Hyrule Edition, it's including the 12 months online, the basic with the expansion pack
Mm.
already. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
including the whole thing for a whole year. And I feel like NSO is here to stay. If we get the Nintendo Switch 2,
Oh yeah,
we're still going to be able to access that. So that's
They're-
something
yeah,
that they're
they confirmed that already, but officially. That and yeah, Nintendo Online is accounts. Well, it's moving forward. Before I take it
wonderful.
over to Joycey, I want to go ahead and shout out Miss Academy member, head moderator, one of our head moderators, Jen Mar. Happy birthday! It's her birthday
Happy
today.
birthday.
Happy
Wow, that's cool.
birthday!
We
A fellow
also
July birthday. I
Cheers.
like it.
Yeah, and then we also have Bro Lindo. I'm not sure if he's on the chat today, but it's also his birthday. Friends, if you want your birthday shout out at any moment, you can join the Discord. That's how I find out when your birthday is. I will shout you out the moment I get on your birthday, because I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being born into the world, because you make the world a better place. You make the Nintendo podcast and the Odyssey and everything a better place. So thank you so much for being here. Jan Mar, happy birthday, and Bro Lindo, happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
All right, Joycey, so take it away. What do you think? NSO, give me your thoughts. Let it go, Joycey. Let it go.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
Yeah.
The idea of I pay my internet bill every
Mhm.
single month. So now I have to pay again to use the internet that I pay for.
Yeah. I can see.
So, and I can never get behind the whole, well, everybody else is doing it. Okay, and so PlayStation and Xbox were doing it ahead of time. So when
Yeah.
Nintendo came out with it, it was like, bruh, what? Kind of thing. However,
Mhm.
Oh, and then wait, the other con that I have is a lot of these games, not all of them, but a lot of the big hitters, you can still probably find them somewhere.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, y'all
Oh, yes.
know I'm big on physical, own your stuff if you can. I know digital is very, very convenient, but I'm big on own your stuff. But however, when I think about just the amount of time I've put into Splatoon by itself, that game is paid for itself The online has paid for itself.
Yeah.
The DLC has paid for itself. So if we were to just take Splatoon, so Splatoon is $60 by itself, right? And they update the game constantly. We have Splatfest almost every month, or every several weeks, and that's all free. Side order was, I believe, $25. Correct me, Paul. You're good with numbers. Side order was like was it $25?
I think it was side order was $25.
Yeah. Hold on a second, y'all. I gotta yell at my.
That's the regular price for right DLC on Switch, right? It's like $24 or $29 more.
I think so. So there's 60 plus 25 and then plus 20 because I only spend my NSO on myself. I haven't got the expansion pack because a lot of those games that I care about, I still have my Wii, I still have my Wii U, and I have those games still downloaded. So
yeah,
I don't really have to do much with them for me. But the fact that basically, shut up.
It's a good time for the Metroid series, though, for you.
So the Nintendo Switch Online
Anyway, sorry,
for
Uh-huh.
Canadian is $24.99 Canadian a year individual.
Yeah.
And with the expansion pack, $63.99 Canadian, but that's the individual. I mean the not the And the family is $44.99 Canadian and $99.99 Canadian. Keep in mind Canadians, of course, it's I know $1 it's less expensive than the US dollar. So yeah, that's why we can charge a bit more.
yeah.
So when I look at
yeah, no, go ahead.
When I look at how much I basically spent just on Splatoon, you know, I'm trying to think, do I play any other games online? I'm not sure. I'm sure I do. But just what I spent on Splatoon, I'm kind of like, I have really gotten my money's worth. I've really gotten my money's worth. And I understand kind of like everybody else is doing it. So, you know, Nintendo kind of followed suit to kind of what the industry was already doing. It's not necessarily the most outlandish thing. I think we are the cheapest. But this is where I think this is where the big pro is, or the big savings, if you will.
Yeah.
NSO is probably never going away.
Yeah.
And then when it's not Nintendo Switch anymore, I think we're going to get another Switch 2 that's upgraded and everything else. But then after that, what's going to happen after that? They might do a completely different style of hardware, right?
Yeah.
So I still think that it may not be called Nintendo Switch Online. It'll be called Nintendo
Online,
Virtual Boy Online, or just Nintendo Online, right?
Yeah, I hope they do change that name to Nintendo Online so they can kind of like just make it its own brand.
Or Nintendo Experience, as Paul suggested.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing about it,
yeah, I'm just on board with Nintendo Online just because it kind of, it's Nintendo, right? Nintendo Entertainment, maybe Nintendo Entertainment Online, Neo, or whatever.
But the point is that, but what I'm trying to say is that it's going to probably keep going with us. So it's going to grow. So eventually we're going to, Mike, I know you and I kind of differ on this, but because I think GameCube, they're going to be remastering a lot of things. But what if they don't? There's a place online for it. And then eventually Wii is going to be there. And I don't know about Wii U, but Wii U might be there. The only reason I say that because so many Wii U games came to for purchase on Switch. So it's going to keep going. And then I think about some of the games that are lost in time, possibly because, you know, different licenses, this company owns that, this company owns the other thing, and blah, 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 blah. You know, those games could have a chance to come back as well. So there is benefit to it. And like I said, it is the cheapest on the market.
Yeah.
And one game, and Paul's really gonna like this one. Remember, y'all, one game is like $60.
Yeah.
So think of all the games that you don't buy throughout the year because you're either not interested or you're not sold on it yet. Well, think of it like this: you spent, you know, if you're gonna get the bigger expansion packs, you basically just spent a little bit of money on a game for one full year. So there's the good part.
$40 one person, right? And then so plus expansion pack.
I thought it was 70 something.
That's for the.
I still haven't gotten an expansion pass because
expansion pack is 50 if you're solo and 80 if you're family.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So is that are they doing 79 and then 49, or is it just like a rounded number?
I mean, I'm sure it's $79.99 and like $49.99, but
Penny's a penny. A penny's a penny.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
After
it is.
taxes, it's like, a few dollars.
It is.
However,
Yeah.
I guess depending on where you live, because mine only comes out to like $21.68 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the taxes. Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah. Here's only 6%, so we're not.
Sometimes
We're not
when you have the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, one of the other things I didn't mention is it makes at certain times of the year buying digital games cost less. So that's another perk. And also it gives you the access to buy the Nintendo vouchers. And the vouchers is even more value because now you're spending $100 for two $60 games, or even a $70 Tears of the Kingdom and a $60 Pikmin 4, which after taxes is a $75 and a $65 title. So now you're looking at $130 physical or $100 digital.
Yeah.
If you don't mind about the physical or digital, just that one voucher that you bought for $100 that gave you two, you instantly save $30. So the money that you put into NSO, $30 you just made back because you decided to buy Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin 4 because you don't care if it's physical or digital.
Yeah.
You made that money back. And that's another perk of NSO. And another one is periodically game sales throughout the year. More is off for NSO members, or sometimes it's only off period for NSO members. Something along those lines. So the only hang up is, and like Joycey said, why do I got to pay for going online? Pretend the online's free and pretend that you're paying $20 to play Super Metroid and Donkey Kong Country 2 and The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, and to rent Star Fox 64 and to rent Super Mario 64 and to rent Majora's Mask, and to play Tetris 99. If that is when that's the mindset, then the internet part I think becomes a little bit easier. It's not reality, but when you mush it all in together, it's undoubtedly a good service.
Yeah, I mean, everything that was mentioned today, basically, I have nothing left to talk about. You guys mentioned every single little detail NSO.
Sorry.
I'm giving you a compliment. I'm giving you a compliment because you hit every point. The one thing, I don't think this is part of NSO, but I think Nintendo always brings you the best value. Even for non-NSO, we have the gold coins that you earn when you buy digital games or even physical games, and you can take those coins and then reduce the price of another game later on. You also have your silver coins, which you can use to either get free merch online. Like I've gotten a lot of free stuff from Nintendo themselves just because I play online. For playing, you get silver coins just for playing.
And physical rewards.
Yeah.
Not just digital cool stuff, but you can go to their My Nintendo store and buy cool things like the High Rewards Age of Calamity plaque. That was free, and I got that from Platinum Coins.
Show me, Paul. I haven't seen it.
My plaque,
if you don't mind. It's Age of Calamity, which is a very good, solid game.
Yeah.
So this is free, and I wouldn't have gotten it otherwise if I wasn't
so cool.
a Nintendo Switch Online member, because
it's a plaque.
It's a plaque.
It's not a cardboard thing. It's an actual plaque. So you get a lot of value from NSO. I got at one point, I think it was a couple years ago. They were giving away. It went out really fast. It was they've given out mugs, glasses. They've given out birthday sets. I'm like, what the heck? It's like a whole bunch of a collection of the collection of coins at one point that they gave out. It's super cool just to collect those coins, and you might have those coins with you and not even know you have them sometimes because you don't really pay attention to those little silver coins. But those little coins, and you don't have to be NSO member for those. Just pay attention to those coins. Go to your My Nintendo account. Go to Nintendo.com, log in. It'll take you to My Nintendo, and then you'll see how many gold coins you have, which you can redeem for real games, real dollars, and then you can redeem also your silver coins. So Nintendo actually gives you very good value overall just for having an account, right? Not to mention all of the benefits that these amazing people here have brought up. But man, Jesse, you want to ask something?
I was gonna say I have an idea.
Yeah.
Like, because some of us, like, I'm gonna be very honest, I get really confused with the way the Nintendo shop is set up. So I'm like, I can spend so everything time I go with my points, it's kind of like, okay, I can get a button or I can get a sticker. Like, I haven't gotten like anything like cool like you guys have gotten.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I feel like you can also use this at the like Nintendo store. Like, you could buy like actual merch, like a $30 shirt is now like $25 or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if that's even a thing, but that should like be a thing.
Hopefully, man, that'll be
and
awesome.
then I could order it right off the store. Do you have any idea how much stuff I would have if I could like order like,
maybe
right
with
off
the gold coins, maybe with the gold coins, because gold coins are actually real money that they give you to the discount on games, and then the silver coins they give you for playing and for using NSO or doing something online, which is pretty cool. But
which is anything.
Yeah, with that, we're still on the NSO topic, and we're almost about to enter.
That's Tears of the Kingdom. It's a keychain.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I got it for free as well.
So cool.
I have some. I have it too. I have that somewhere around here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is the thing. I think NSO entering into the next question of NSO topic, I think is only going to get better. I think NSO is going to expand. Unfortunately, and a good thing is going to expand in the way that I think is going to expand in the way that for Switch 2, they will allow you to put themes on your wallpaper, like on your home screen, background music. I know that should all be free, but seeing where Nintendo is going with NSO, I feel like they're gonna allow you to add music to your background on your home screen, to add a theme of a game, right? Let's say you buy a game, you have NSO, and then you get that theme or wallpaper, a specific wallpaper just made for your home screen on your Nintendo Switch 2. And maybe you can redeem your silver coins for different wallpapers, or your gold coins for different wallpapers on, but you have to have NSO, And so with that, the question is, I want to start with this. I'll start and I'll give it to you guys because that way I can say something, because I know you guys are gonna take it all. No shade. No shade. But the question is, how far will they go? Like, how far will NSO go? And I'm talking about the next 10 years. The next 10 years, okay? Next 10 years, I'm talking about Switch 2 Life, maybe the beginning of Switch 3 or Switch 4, Switch 5. I think that's going to be one of the main things that NSO is going to be known for, the customization of your home screen. I think they're going to add music. I think they're going to add their own movies, because Nintendo is expanding to the cinematic universe. And so they're not only creating movies, live action movies, animated movies, but they're also creating TV shows, something that nobody has been talking about. They are creating TV shows, and nobody has actually mentioned that. They did create a mini series with Pigmen. And I don't know why people have not been putting it out. They have a little mini series on their YouTube account with Pigmen. They have little Pigmen just walking around, solving little things and trying to get certain places. And they're about 2 or 3 minute videos, but that's just a preamp of what they're going
testing the waters.
Yeah.
You mean the Mr. Miyamoto directed ones from the Wii U era?
I don't know.
Like 3 separate shorts?
Yeah, I think so. But I there's a patent where there is an entertainment hub. Okay, an entertainment hub for Nintendo, right? And the patent shows TV shows, movies, games. All right, so TV shows, movies, games. I think that you'll be able to click on TV shows and look at all the shows that Nintendo has. The movies, you'll be able to also click on games and to go to the game area. And so I think it's going that far. When it comes to console wise, I do believe GameCube is eventually coming to NSO. Nintendo SP, I know it's a dual screen, but Nintendo will find a way with the next gen system. Maybe there's so many ways they can do for dual screen, right? They could have you take the controller. I know this is a PS5 controller, but maybe on a button, right? that extra button that they add, you can push it and it changes screens between the main screen and that next screen, right? So that's gonna be
Mhm.
another one. Um, I think that Nintendo will eventually be one of the best um services when it comes to video games, and I don't think this is something that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get pushback. I don't think they're gonna raise the price. And they're not gonna do
Hmm.
an expansion to the expansion pack. I think they have the base model, and then they have the premium
Mm.
model for what they have now. And I think they've already set the standard for that, right? The premium, and they added the mature to NSO with that, and it's still the same price. We have another little section, different app, and everything. Um, I do believe they're going to use more cloud gaming for the rest of the consoles, just because they do take more space and more storage. So there's going to be a combination of cloud gaming. I'm actually playing. I played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts. I know that's cloud. That shouldn't be cloud. That's like a PlayStation game. That shouldn't be a cloud game, but it plays well. I have no complaints.
I haven't tried Kingdom
Yeah,
Hearts yet.
yeah, I love Kingdom Hearts. That's another.
I mean, on the Switch.
On the Switch, yeah.
On the Switch, because I played every single one of the Kingdom Hearts
Yeah.
everywhere except.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Please explain it to me. Not now, but later. Please explain it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm watching a streamer play it from the beginning, and I'm like, I don't.
Yeah,
get it.
it's everywhere. Yeah.
It's a beautiful
Oh,
story.
okay.
It's just a beautiful
We'll
story.
discuss.
Yeah, and it entails a lot of the characters from Square and Disney. So it's like a
Mhm.
combination, like a crossover.
That part I know. I just need to understand why they're there.
Oh yeah.
It gets
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah, it
You know
is,
what I
it is.
mean?
Yeah.
Because like think about it, like I don't play Smash like at all, but I
Mhm.
do own it. I have the controller and everything.
Yeah.
But I did play like the single player to unlock all the characters.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, I understand why they're here. But like with Kingdom Hearts, I'm like, okay, like why do we have this motley crew of characters? It
Yeah.
looks fabulous. It looks interesting.
Mhm.
It's still kind of niche for the most part. So I'm like, I kind of want to see like where that goes. But anyway, that's a whole other
Yeah.
topic. Lily will
Yeah.
school me.
But it's I've also played every single game of Kingdom Hearts. It's one of my favorite franchises, along up there with Final Fantasy. And so, just because they have also Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts, so it's like it's pretty cool.
Wait,
but,
can I please take the next one after you're done?
yeah.
I have an idea. I don't want anybody to take it.
Okay, yeah. But
Well, were you done? I'll wait till you're done.
yeah,
I'll wait.
I'm trying to figure out where I left off. So I'm talking about GameCube, right? GameCube and games that have a higher capacity, like bigger games, gigabytes. I think that cloud gaming has advanced pretty well. In order for it to live on NSO, and I think it's going to be a future. Cloud gaming is here to stay, guys. No matter what, whether you agree or not, cloud gaming is here to stay. The cloud is up there; it's never coming down. It's like AI. It's never gonna. Nobody's gonna stop it. It's here to stay, and it's just only gonna get better. Hopefully, it doesn't take over the world, but it's here. And so I think that Nintendo will eventually make NSO bigger with GameCube, with the Wii, and I mean it's just a thing. So with that, go ahead, Jesse, take it away with the.
I want to add to everything that you just said because I
Yeah, go ahead.
love all that. But I randomly came up with this like the other day. Like, as much as we all love like the music in all of these games, especially Nintendo first party, other games have plenty of great music too. Like they should have a music streaming app.
They do. They should. Yeah, I believe it. Every
They should
game.
have at least get. Of course, it's their games. They can do whatever they want to do with them. At least get, dude, Colgera theme, like surround sound in my car that it hasn't been compressed and everything on YouTube and whatnot. Like, no, I want clear orchestra and I want to blare it out my windows.
That'd be awesome.
So I think that they ought to do that, and then of course with all of the third parties that they have all these deals with and everything. Hey, if you bring your game over, you can also get a portion for the music if you want to bring the music over and all these. See, that screams extra money. See, to me, that's something that adds to NSO or adds to your subscription.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kind of, and we've talked about this before. You know, I would love for them to make Nintendo. I want it to be like its own little world, like Disney.
Yeah.
Disney is its own little world.
Yep.
So I kind of want them to do the same thing. So not only that, and I know a couple people said in the chat that they think that, you know, the highest we're going to be able to go on NSO is N64. Well, guys, one of the reasons that N64 and on down made it to NSO is because they're older games, and
Yeah.
some of them are harder to find. Some of them, not really, but some of them.
Depending
So-
if you know where to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you know where to look, you know.
Yeah,
Garage sales are still a thing. Go to garage
yeah,
sales.
yeah.
You know, 60-year-old aunties don't know what it is. They don't. So but the thing about it is, though, is that eventually, as time goes on, all the games are going to be on there on some level. Switch is going to be on an NSO one day. Switch games are going to be on NSO.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're going to all be retired by then, but it's going to happen one day, as well as remasters and that sort of thing. So I just think the music app alone is like worth $20 a year.
And I remembered, now that you mentioned that, Tracy, I remembered that when they released the Wii U, the Twilight Princess Wii U that came with Wolf Link, it also came with the soundtrack, which was amazing because we got the Twilight Princess original soundtrack in it. So,
but all of that on a streaming service, and I have the CD somewhere because y'all know I believe in physical, but I don't have a CD player in my car anymore.
But you don't. Newer cars don't have them.
They don't.
Or can you ask for that on the agency? I don't know.
I don't know if I could have asked for it, but I was like, but what do I really, really, really need it for? How often am I really driving? I'm probably going to Austin next week. Austin's 45 minutes away. How much music am I really gonna have a chance to listen to? So, you know what I mean? But I just think that just adds to the value, and that's as much as we think about how much we pay for our streaming services every month, $20, or even if they raised it to 30 just by adding the music app, worth it.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that 20 years is the main thing. 20 years is the call for a game to be classic. You know, like 20 years. After 20 years, it's considered like a car. Like if you buy a car at 20 years old, it's considered a classic. I think Nintendo was waiting for you know, when Nintendo added NSO 64 to NSO, I think Nintendo 64 was about 22, 23, 24 years old. All right, around that timeline. And Nintendo GameCube is now around the same age. GameCube came out in 2001.
This is 40, y'all.
It's now around the same time, same age. Right? Am I right?
We're getting closer, yeah.
So it's like maybe Nintendo's waiting 20 something years to add a certain console to NSO, and that will, in Nintendo's eyes, officially make it a classic, you know, like a retro kind of thing. And so, Paul, what we got?
I was gonna say, I could see the service becoming more expensive if they have another third-party console, because another one that a lot of people are hoping for is Sega Dreamcast.
Right.
And that's an opportunity for Nintendo to do two things, which is really cool. One, on the Nintendo side, it's easier, and that's making a brand new wireless GameCube controller, you know, or the Wavebridge shell. There's certain things that they might not be able to replicate, patent purposes and whatnot, but a GameCube controller, either the original model or the Wavebird model, but a new one, but also a Sega Dreamcast controller. I think it's trippy. It is wild and as cool as can be that I have a Sega Genesis controller that on the back says made by Nintendo on it.
Yeah.
And as an old school gamer to own that in this day, thanks to Nintendo Switch Online app, is just wild. It's kind of like when you load up MLB The Show 22 on your Nintendo Switch, and when you start the game, it says PlayStation Studios, and it's their logo that goes on. Like, wow, what wild times, you know? But if Sega Dreamcast is on board, or Sega is on board with Dreamcast coming to Nintendo Switch Online, that's when I could see, oh, this is called the Power Up Pack, or some other kind of name that's higher up than Expansion Pack, because it's coming with a third party, you know, well, their last console from 1998 and Nintendo GameCube, and then maybe something else thrown in there. And then, like, what's that price? I mean, is it $80 a year? If it's 80, that could be too steep for some, but the quality of games got so much bigger in size on Nintendo GameCube in that era, and Dreamcast that era, than N64 and PlayStation were just a mere several years prior. You know, the sophistication, the geometry, the music, the compression, the raw polygons, the time. It was a big leap, but we'll see. There are some other systems that could definitely be added in time.
So I'm gonna add this really
Ooh,
quick.
Mike.
And you hear me?
Mike, turn it
Mike?
down just a little bit. You can't boom it.
Huh? I haven't touched it. You sure? I haven't even touched it yet. I haven't touched it.
I know. Just turn it down. Your mic.
Was it for everybody or just Josie?
I don't know, but
Probably
You're
was
just
your internal
there.
mic, like your voice was too
What?
loud.
you're perfect.
The
You
mic.
sound like absolutely perfect now. You're like
I just
so. Perfect.
I haven't touched anything though. Not even before or after.
No, but you just came in like loud. I'm like,
I just said so. Well, anyway, but moving along, I have something here that will maybe convince you that NSO GameCube could be coming soon to NSO. You know how companies that make accessories, they sometimes have information because they have to make accessories for certain products, right? Like when I used to work for Apple, I worked for Apple for about 10 years. I know that there were accessories companies that they had the CAD models for iPhone, right? They know exactly what they're going to look like, the size and everything.
Mhm.
And so we have a company who approached me because they're kind of very pushing it. Like they just released this. They're really pushing it, and they released GameCube controllers. Okay,
That's been on my list for a very long time.
and so we got different colors of GameCube controllers that go with each GameCube iteration, like how no matter what GameCube color you had, NYXI is the one who makes these controllers. They actually have in that same box, they give you like a little adapter because they're also compatible with GameCube. You can attach them to your Nintendo Switch, and so I know Nintendo's gonna do their own controller, but how hard is it gonna be now to get a GameCube controller? I think this is compatible with Nintendo Switch. I tested it. It works beautifully, right?
It is compatible, but now that we were discussing also the cons, one of the cons for the Nintendo Switch that for the NSO that I always had struggle with, is in order for you to play those games, like for example the Nintendo 64 ones, specifically Legend of Zelda, let's go with Ocarina of Time. In terms of playing the Ocarina, you have to use the C-pad and the C buttons to do that. The Nintendo Switch Online doesn't give you an option to map your own controller because, of course, the selling point is for you to buy the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo 64 controller, right? That's like their selling point. So I will find it a little bit hard for those third-party companies to be able to push their license.
You can map controllers. You can map controls, but you have to go into the settings of the actual Switch, not NSO. You go into the settings of the actual Switch over where you have the pair, you have the syncing part, all that in that area in the settings. You can actually map your controllers.
You can map the buttons.
Yeah, you
100%.
To match the Nintendo 64.
You can, yeah, you can actually just make your own mapping.
Close, like that's what we had to do for GoldenEye. Was the one that was making everybody talk because if you didn't have the N64 controller, the default controls on N64, Nintendo Switch doesn't have that many face buttons. There is no up C, left C, down C, right C, B.
That was my problem.
It's different. So what we did was we went into the home menu, go in the settings, go to controller map, and then we completely made it. This is how we want it to be.
Mhm.
And then in the GoldenEye game, we scroll over to a certain, because GoldenEye, even back in the day, it had several different play styles. Like you could play with
Yeah,
these
yeah.
two, these
Yeah.
two, this one, boom, boom. And
Mhm.
then it actually worked out so well that it felt like a modern day first person shooter where
Oh,
you
yeah,
were walking
yeah.
around like this, you were strafing with your right, you could shoot with the
Which you
back, you
didn't
could
have
aim
back
with
in the
this,
day. Yeah.
Mhm.
and it was fantastic. And I felt like, wow, I
Okay.
can pick up my N64 one and play GoldenEye, or I'm playing with my Pro controller, and the Pro controller actually, in some ways, was a little bit better than the classic because
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
worked
test it
well.
out then. Yeah, because I did
Yeah,
not know that, and that's super useful.
you almost have to for certain games because yeah, the N64 controller was so unique. It's
Mhm.
kind of too bad. It would be a little
Yeah.
bit better if when the game popped up, you could just tap into how would you like to adjust your controls.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dot, dot,
Yeah.
dot, 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 dot. But
Mhm.
instead you do have to go, into the system menu. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The cool thing about this is it also has two mappable buttons in the back, like right here.
Yeah, you can
back here.
swap them, I think, as
Yeah.
well, right? You
That's
can
pretty
fully
cool.
customize the plate on the back.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's not a Switch controller, is it? That's
No,
not-
yeah, this is a Switch controller with the mapping of a GameCube.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I need to collect those. I
Yeah,
have not gotten any of my old
just
school
released these
controllers.
as they just turned 3 years old. They other through that third anniversary, and they released these new controllers in these different
Those are
colors.
nice.
Yeah, they're very, very nice, and they're very, very like super high quality.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll let you guys know if I'll give them away because I have like in the backs I have like 10 boxes like this. Like I have,
Mike, I want one.
they have these, and they also have these, but as it's split down the middle, so you can actually you can hook them to your Nintendo Switch.
I wanted to order that one.
Yeah, so you can play mobile. So
Yeah.
I have all of them back there. I have these, which is like a Pro controller, and then they have the other ones, which with the same exact mapping, but it's cut in half, so you can actually just attach them to your Switch and play in handheld mode, and the same
Nice.
colors too. Yeah, same colors.
Want to hear something wild?
Yeah.
I was playing. Oh gosh, what was the big Mario on SNES? Mario
3, Mario 2,
Mario World.
Super Mario
Oh yeah, Super Mario. SNES, Super Mario World. Yeah,
You think I know that because it's like my favorite Mario game still.
yeah, right now.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's a theme. Yeah.
Y'all want to hear something wild? Like actually playing with the Switch controller is not as comfortable as you would think. I was like, oh my god, I need my old SNES
Yeah.
Oh
controller.
no, it's not wild. Totally agree with you.
Okay, so it's not just me because I was like,
No.
because the buttons are the same, but I'm
Yeah,
like, this doesn't feel right.
They did it on purpose. They did it on purpose because they want to open a new field of having people having accessories create their own like little ergonomic kind of thing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anybody who's watching, I apologize. I think there's an eyelash lost somewhere in my eye, and I can like hardly see.
Staring at you weirdly. She's not like staring at you weirdly. She's just like, she's just looking at. She just.
I'm just trying. I just want this eyelash to come out. At least I think it's an eyelash.
Like, I'm like, why are you staring at me like that? What's going on?
Because I have been staring at the chat like that. They're probably like, why is she staring at us?
Wait,
All right, so
Joyce,
yes,
are you okay?
yes or no question?
I'll live.
Yes or no question? Although that's really hard for this podcast. Yes or no question?
But sorry, I wanted to add my.
Yeah, go ahead. For the how far will they go?
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I feel like if they can work on a way for you to toggle on and off what you want and be based out of like build your own NSO. I don't
You
know if
mean
I'm-
like pick the games that you want, so they're more easily accessible instead
not
of
the games, but more like what happens if I just want online and I don't want to play all those other games, which is weird, but
good.
like
That's
they
good.
wanted to go with the cheaper options, basically, right?
That's actually a good thing. It's like $4 a month, right? $4.99.
Yeah, like for you to toggle on. I want online. I want to back up my data, and I want I don't know something.
So you want
that I
like
can think of.
NSO a la carte. You want to
Yeah.
be able to make like your own.
And
I can see that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I can see
that's
that.
what I want.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
There's been a lot of conversation around, with Switch 2, do we want themes and all that
Yeah.
other kind of stuff? Yeah, first of all, yes, we do. Well, I do. Well, I just think about it like you open up your Switch on your nice big TV or even your little nice TV, and
Yeah.
it just opens up to like your favorite games,
Yeah.
big artwork or whatever. It doesn't even have to be the in-game artwork, just
Yeah.
something the company releases, like when they did
Browse
like
through
Breath
it,
of the
yeah.
Wild and the big sprawling scene of seeing Hyrule.
Mhm.
I'd love to open up my Switch and just see that on my TV, and then have some nice, like, Zelda music playing in the background, whatever the theme is of that game or something.
Yep.
They need, and even though I don't want that to be behind a paywall, I think it would be a good idea to at least offer it if they're not going to automatically include it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I agree.
So you go to Lily.
That was it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do a yes or no question. Yes or no question. You got like 2 seconds to answer. On this last one for NSO, right now, how everything is. Starting with Paul. Yes or no, Paul? Is it worth it?
Yes.
Joycey, is it worth it?
Yes.
Lily, is it worth it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I think it's worth it too, especially if you share with somebody that's even more worth it because you're not paying almost anything at all and getting all this value. And with that, let me go ahead and change the music. We're changing subjects. Wait, that's the same music, right?
Yep.
Pikachu.
Okay.
No, you're Pikachu.
There we go. All right. So next topic is Nintendo Switch 2, but in a way, is Nintendo getting ready to release the trailer for Switch 2? Now, this is a question out there just because we had a new accessory that was released. It's released worldwide, but the trailer came from Nintendo of Europe. Now, let me go back and then do a little bit of explanation just so that everybody's understanding and is on the same page. Nintendo Switch 2 rumors mentioned that the Nintendo Switch 2 will no longer have the rails to attach a Joy-Con up to down, but it will be magnetically connected, so it'll be like to the side. Snap, just like the Nintendo Switch Snap that we kind of, that's just like Lily is demonstrating right here, how you take that and it goes like that instead of installing it as a rail and then snapping it down. So that will no longer happen with Switch 2. It'll be magnetically connected and fall into place once you kind of snap that Nintendo Joy-Con. That is the rumor out there. Credible sources confirmed it. A lot of shipping information, a lot of stuff out there. So with that, there is no longer a compatibility with the regular Joy-Cons to the Nintendo Switch 2 just because they will not have the rails for it to snap. They will only and then the Switch Joy-Cons, they don't have a magnet to so you can't use them in handheld mode. You still can pair them with your with the Nintendo Switch 2 and use them as controllers, right? Or if you have one of those little rail thingies and just use it as a Pro Controller, you can still do that. But you will no longer be able to charge them on the thing. Thus, Nintendo adding that new adapter that only charges the Joy-Cons or by itself. So it's like a little stand. You add the Joy-Cons. Let me go ahead and look at the picture here because I think I have it here. So you guys know what we're talking about. We are mostly a video podcast. So if you're listening to it, all the fun is on the video. So you should go on the video.
Yeah, you should hop on the YouTube and the videos. Yeah.
But thank you for listening to us in your car while you drive.
Yeah, exactly. And you can watch us while you drive too. That's not dangerous at all. I don't think it is.
No.
No.
You're kidding.
The Net Topics podcast does not reflect all of the thoughts created by Mike.
A reminder of the crew.
The views of Mike Odyssey.
Yeah.
Did it come through? No?
I don't see it yet.
Nothing yet?
No, nothing yet.
Present Chef Queen. Where are you? Where are ya? Okay, so I got it there. Where is it? Come on. Oh, problem report. No. To share audio and tab. What's happening here? Chrome tab.
Oh.
Entire. Now I want to share my entire screen. Chrome tab. Let me open it. Let me open it on Chrome because it looks like my Safari is acting nutty.
Yeah.
My Nintendo News. By the way, my Nintendo News is a good website, guys. I recommend it. I recommend it for you guys if you want to check out some Nintendo news. If not, I'll just take this picture here. For you. I'll just take the picture of what I'm talking about and open it and then share it. That's like the best part, best thing. All right, I got it. I'll share it now. Chicken nuggets. People like chicken nuggets?
Is there honey mustard or barbecue sauce involved?
Yeah, honey mustard, hot
Then I
sauce.
love chicken nuggets.
All right, so as you can see here, this is what we're talking about. For those of you listening, we are referring to a little dock, like a little standing little dock here that only has 2 rails on each side and a cable from the top, which charges the Joy-Con. So it's like a little stand thingy. Nintendo Europe announces Switch Joy-Con charging stand. That's a better word, stand, for October, right? Some people think it's a nightmare because it's launching in October. Well, a lot of people are speculating. Okay, that means that we are getting the Switch trailer very close to October before this thing comes out, right? And because Nintendo wants to emphasize, look, we want to give you a way to continue to charge your Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons when the Switch 2 comes out, because you will no longer be able to charge them with your Switch 2 because they have nothing to attach to, unless you have a different attachy thingy. I actually
Or
have
your OG Switch.
Yeah, and it's funny because they launched this officially, but I actually have one. I've had one for a long time.
Yeah, they had multiple like official licensed third parties. One.
Yeah, so this one I can charge 4 Joy-Cons and then 2 Pro controllers on each side here, and you just kind of plug it in through. And this is how I charge my Joy-Cons, like 4 Joy-Cons here and then two Pro controllers on each side. But they have this everywhere, right? Nintendo is now officially launching their own little controller stand that, if you look at this image, it's like, okay, pretend this is a Switch 2. You have this little thing here on the side where you can still, and then look at where it's actually connected to. It's connected to the actual dock
an OLED dock.
Yeah, to this, so this dock right here, maybe this is the Switch 2 dock. Never know. Okay. It's not. But it's connected to a dock. So it's meant to be a sidekick to the actual dock. When Switch 2 comes out, you have the same exact USB adapters on the side. We did see the swivel. The swivel did have the 2 adapters on the side to put USB, and so this is meant to be like a little sidekick to charge your controllers, right? And so that's where the Switch 2 speculation comes from, and we're asking whether Nintendo's plan is to put this in people's minds now, giving people an additional way to charge their current Joy-Cons, and so that when they do purchase the Nintendo Switch 2, they can continue using the current Joy-Con. And not only that, but looking at the time where Nintendo released this, at the very end of the Switch Joy-Con life cycle, means that Nintendo Switch will still be around for quite some time after the Switch 2 comes out, because if they're still selling Joy-Cons after that, they'll still be selling these type of Joy-Cons after Switch comes out. Giving you all these. They made it on purpose. Look, they have the purple one, the green one, the white one, yellow one, red one. They want you to think about multiple Joy-Cons. Your second pair, your third pair of Joy-Cons. You have them.
That's what they're hinting.
Yeah, the ones you have that's just sitting around. You have now your dock. Now, I wish it had maybe an extra area to at least 4 Joy-Cons rather than just 2.
Yeah, because.
But yeah, with that is the question. is Nintendo getting ready to present Nintendo Switch 2? Will this be part of the trailer with Joy-Cons attached? Because they want, when in a trailer, they want to do several things. They want to show you the system itself. They want to show you what the system does, what's new about it, right? And they want to position it in a way that is going to make you want to buy it, right? One thing that I think they're going to show is backwards compatibility. They're probably going to show you playing a Nintendo Switch game that is currently on Nintendo Switch, right? Maybe the Switch 2 will have certain games that only you can play with Switch 2 controllers just because. But for Nintendo Switch games, you can go back to your old Joy-Cons and use those and play certain games, right? We don't know what Nintendo's doing with their second generation Joy-Cons or whatever they decide to call it, because I'm not sure if they want to keep their Joy-Con name. Joy-Con Drift exists, So with that, I've said all I want to say so far. I'm going to go ahead and kick it up to the chat. Not to the chat, to the crew and the chat as well. You guys write down in the comments what you guys think. But the big question lies: is Nintendo positioning themselves for the Nintendo Switch 2 launch? Paul, what do you think?
I think so. I mean, August 2nd is their next fiscal report. So that's in 14 days exactly, which, well, actually 13 nights, because, it'll be August 11th and
how many hours?
August 1st in most of the United States at that point. Yeah. But 2 weeks away, they'll have some hardware numbers, they'll have some software numbers, and some questions will be asked here and there. And last time when questions were asked, we had Nintendo Switch successor talk, being officially announced. So it's kind of crazy to think, but I think August could be the month. Part of me says it's still a little too early, but the other part of me says August isn't that much farther away than my prediction of September or October.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of seeing this release of the Nintendo Switch successor being similar to the other one. I'm always hung up on, gosh, last time they didn't need to worry about cannibalizing sales of Wii U because Wii U wasn't succeeding during the holidays. It didn't matter. This time, Nintendo Switch is on a roll. It just did, hundreds of thousands of more every month all around the world. Why hurt it?
Yeah.
But they will have to do it eventually. So perhaps August is it. And that's, like I said, it's not too much farther away than my September, October prediction or expectation. And maybe they do it in a clever way of some price drop or new bundle. But this definitely helps evidence point towards something is happening sooner than later. As for why did they release it now and not earlier? Well, Nintendo also has to worry about their third parties and not cannibalizing their own market by releasing too many of their own products. They want third parties to flock to the system and support them with alternate controllers, alternate screen protectors, alternate this, that, and the other, so that they have a profit base and a reason to stick around and have affordable options out there. So that's kind of why Nintendo has waited this long to do it. Now they have an official product to show people, hey, this is what's going to be used in that commercial, and this is what you could buy directly to accommodate your controller situation to use on Nintendo Switch 2, even though you can't slide them in. But that's why they let third parties build similar products over the last 7 years and not themselves. They are smart about their own ecosystem, saying we can't release game after game, month after month, that competes with the other fellow genres. They have realized over the years it takes more than Nintendo themselves to make a successful system. They need the work of others and collaborate and stuff. But yeah, with that August 2nd thing, I'll just say, man, August is looking more likely.
Yeah.
I'm a little hesitant to say yes, but my chances have gone up.
Yeah, and I think that at this point, Nintendo has nothing to prove anymore. They've already proven what they got to prove with the Switch, right? And so, like you said, Paul, at some point we just have to stop saying Nintendo's going to cannibalize the sales. They've sold like crazy,
and they keep selling.
and yeah, and then again, we have to go back to what Shintaro Furukawa said. He doesn't want to fall off the cliff. He wants to maintain momentum, and I think the way to do it is by having a short period release period between the announcement and release. If they do August, then obviously it's going to be out before March, or on March, or because they can have their big event in January, and then in March have the release following the same exact Nintendo Switch kind of timeline in a way, right? I know they released the first Switch trailer was in October of 2016, and that was a little further into the year, give them like a 6 month kind of
Mm.
window. If they do give us the trailer in August, that will add 2 months to the actual release window, making it like an 8 month instead of a 6 month release window, depending, right? Maybe not. But yeah, I agree. What do you guys think? Joycey, what you think? What's on what's your pondering?
Well, one, I low key like want some nuggets with some honey mustard sauce.
Me too.
Barbecue. But
Yum.
but I'm sure you want to know what I think about Switch. I'm kind of in line with Paul. I think it's going to be a Switch, OG Switch, kind of repeat in a way, the way they reveal it to us.
Yeah.
That's just what I think. They could literally wait until like, March 31st next year. So
Mhm.
but I think this is how they'll do it. And I think the trailer before, because usually we get the trailer and then we get the big presentation, and then we find out what the big game is that's coming out with it, that sort of thing. So I think what they'll do is they'll give us a trailer, and as they're showing off all these games and what the new system looks like in the hands of somebody else, kind of how they did the first one, but then they'll have the different controllers. It'll kind of flash like on the screen, like the old controllers, the new ones, the Pro controller, whatever the new Pro controller is going to be, or whatever they're going to call it, and it's like play your way, Nintendo Switch 2 kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think they would.
Yeah.
I think they would do something along.
Yeah,
those
I like
lines.
that. I like that. Yeah.
I know somebody needs to hire me over there, right?
Yeah.
Especially in their story development department. Anyway, so specifically Zelda. So anyway, but I think that's the way I think it would work. And then when they do the whole full presentation, that's when they'll go into these details. Like, hey, we released this, Joy-Con charging stand, back in October, but this is how it's going to complement your new Switch 2, and this is why you need it and why you should buy it, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a sign. I think they're giving us breadcrumbs.
Yeah. I
to
can see
follow.
I can see it very clearly in the trailer. The moment where, for example, because remember in the trailer in 2016, they actually showed Mario Odyssey, right? Mario Odyssey came out later that year. So we do see Mario, that next gen Mario, big open space Mario. You see the guy playing with his Switch 2 controller. All of a sudden he switches to a Nintendo Switch controller. He goes to the stand and brings those controllers on the same system and starts playing Mario Odyssey, right?
Mhm.
Saying, hey,
Or
this is backwards compatibility confirmed in the and in that trailer, and that's why they needed to make sure, because the next gen controller will have certain features you need those controls for moving forward for the next Mario game, right? Because Miyamoto said himself, he likes to, he doesn't like to look back, he likes to look forward to things, and he likes to create new and innovative ways to surprise and delight and create new ways of playing. And so I think this hints a little bit into backwards compatibility for Nintendo Switch games on this Joy-Con, and then the other games, depending on the feature that it'll bring, you get the Switch 2 Joy-Cons or whatever. So what do you want to add, Joycey?
what I was going to say, like in that same commercial, I think that would be a little bit busy if one person is doing all that.
Yeah.
But that one person that's playing with the new Pro controller or the new Joy-Cons, they're like, hey, friend, whoever, come in the room and play with me or whatever. And the other friend brings their old Joy-Cons and they like grab them off the stand or something like that.
And, so
And then because and then
They
we'll see
usually-
some of those games that were maybe either cross-gen or can handle both. But in the certain scenes where there's just the new controllers, then that's where we're going to see the new Metroid, the new. I don't know about Mario. I feel like Mario would support both controllers, but not new Metroid. That's just
Yeah.
my thought process.
Yeah. What do you think, Lily?
I think there's always two sides of the same coin. I understand that a lot of people might be reacting a little bit negatively, but also positively. So it really depends on the side you're looking at it. And I do agree that, I mean, by the end of the day, keep this in mind. Nintendo is a business, so they'll always go by numbers, even though sometimes it feels like they're, focused a little bit more on the community and the fans. By the end of the day, they want to focus on what's making them more money, more profit, of
Yeah.
course, as a whole, as a company, right? Not because they're greedy, it's because they have a lot of employees to pay and stuff like that, a lot of great developers and a lot of, an amazing team to look after.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. So yeah, I do see it very on time for Nintendo to be releasing something like this. And it might look a little bit weird for some of you out there, because you might think, well, I mean, this is a Nintendo Switch accessory, why it was never released? I understand, but yeah, I feel like this is going to be the best time for them to showcase, exactly as Joycey just said. The commercial is going to be showcasing what, like, the basic features that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be able to handle, and also emphasizing that you don't have to worry about if you already have your Nintendo Switch, because it's going to be backwards compatible. You don't have to worry about, not being able to charge your old Joy-Cons that first has drift on them.
Uh-huh.
And second, they're not going to be useful anymore if
That's a good
you
one, though.
need. Exactly. So
Why would you want to go
it's a
back?
great opportunity.
Yeah, like, what would you
Yeah.
want to go back? Why? But
Yeah, but
I can
I
see
mean,
it
you
more,
actually bought them, right? So
yeah, but I can see it more in the line of backwards compatibility. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the picture itself is saying everything. It's a side
It is.
accessory that is plugged into your next. Pretend this is a Switch 2 you're seeing there. It's a side accessory plugged into your Nintendo Switch. If you have your Joy-Cons, your old Joy-Cons,
Mhm.
you can charge them this way because they will no longer be compatible with the newer system, and so you still have that way to charge them. And if maybe not, maybe there could be different Joy-Cons, and I know there's an extra button in the front and there's an extra button in the back of the Joy-Con, according to rumors and manufacturer, whatever. Those could play a big part in the future games, and so without those buttons, you might be limited, and so you have a way of going back to your old library of games playing on Nintendo
Mhm.
Switch, and then you also have your newer Joy-Cons that will click or magnetize themselves to your new Nintendo Switch 2. I do believe this is a like the question. Let me see, what was the question again? Is this a sign of them getting ready for the trailer? I think it is. Everybody that kind of, we all agree this could be a pre kind of, them letting you know it exists, so that once you see the trailer, oh wait, okay, that makes more sense, because they're gonna show how the magnets connect to the controller. When the guy gets up from his couch, he picks it up, clap, it magnetizes to their Switch. They're gonna show that. They're not gonna show the snap from the Nintendo Switch, So yeah. Anybody else want to add anything to this before we jump into the Zelda leak?
Do you know how cool it would be to be an actress that gets to hold the new controllers to walk on set,
Jeez,
even
man.
though you're not actually
Yeah.
playing anything,
Yeah.
even though you're just holding this thing and looking up at the screen going, wow, and then Nintendo throws in the image of Super Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever.
Paul, you just recorded the commercial, didn't you?
Oh, gladly.
Yeah.
NDA.
Rooftop Girl, Karen, I think was what the internet dubbed her in 2016
Yes.
October.
Yeah.
Karen the Rooftop Girl. Like, everyone wanted to be her. Like, dude, you get to play, Super Mario Odyssey on the rooftop with your friends in Canada. That's awesome. That's where it was filmed. I think it was filmed in Vancouver.
That's okay. So I think Lily has a better chance of landing that commercial than we do.
Yeah.
So
It could be. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So I want to go ahead and a quick shout out to the 125 people we have watching our stream right now. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are amazing and awesome.
Thank you so much.
And with that, let's go ahead and change gears towards a game that basically became the highlight of the Nintendo Direct that we had, and made it so that Zelda was introduced as a playable character for first time ever, having her own little spotlight there and just being, it's the Legend of Zelda. It's about time that she lives to that name, right? She is a legend. She's powerful. She's great. And so we're expecting that game. It's going to be out in September
26th.
September 26th, right? And we're only a couple of months away, right? Next month is
Yes.
August, and then we have September. And so with this, we have an ESRB rating, which is given to games that are about to launch. They're ready, they're set, and they're about to go. Well, it looks like they went ahead and kind of leaked some information because they released the full description of the actual game. For those of you who don't want, there's not a lot of leakage there. It's just a description of the game. It doesn't give you a lot of information, but it does confirm that Link is a playable character. It specifically mentions how Zelda plays the game. She uses her wand, right, and her powers, and then Link uses his shield and his sword to play. Now, we don't have all the information. This could be that we actually start playing as Link. We do the boss battle as Link, and then that's when we switch to Zelda, right? But we don't know, or there's possibilities. We either start as Link, right? It's and we do the boss battle. We do that dungeon. We get to the boss battle. We get to Ganon, and we actually do the boss battle with Link, and we defeat Ganon. That's when everything happens, and then Zelda takes over for the rest of the game, right? So we do actually use Link, and we have to use his features and stuff right there. The other possibility, we use Zelda up in the real realm, and we use Link in the lower realm, wherever
that would be amazing.
He fell through, and so working together, they find a way to defeat Ganon in that way, or to rescue all of the people that actually fell through, because there's other villagers that fell through that drift thingy, thingy. So there is that possibility of dual play there. And I think those are the only two options, right? Because we know Zelda's a playable character. It's either Zelda's a playable character, Link is only in the beginning, or they both fall through the entire game. Those are the only options we have, right? So I want to kick it up to you guys. And I'm going to ask you a question. What about this? Does it disappoint you that Link is a playable character in a game that's promoted for Zelda? Or would it disappoint you if Link is also a playable character throughout the game, and basically is like he's sharing, again, he's not giving the beautiful Zelda the entire spotlight. He needs to kind of move over a little bit, just scoop, you know.
He's gonna steal it away again.
So what I want to, Joycey, what do you think? Well, is this a game changer for you for the actual game? Because
is it a deal breaker?
I mean,
No,
it's never a deal breaker. It's Zelda game. Never gonna be. But
it's
when
a deal breaker if the system doesn't play Zelda, then I don't buy the system.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm only basing this up on whether Link is playable throughout the entire game along with Zelda, because there's always a possibility you start with Link and then that's it, right? But let's say yeah, Link is a playable character throughout the entire game. Is it disappointing to you that it's not like an actual Zelda game?
It's surface disappointment.
Okay.
Surface. And the reason I say that is because Nintendo, the fact that we were even able to get that much, Nintendo must not mind that we know that. So we can sit here and have a discussion about it, right? My thought process is, with all the Zelda games that we've gotten, there's some that are my favorites, some that I don't like as much, but there's not a bad one out of now 20 with Echoes of Wisdom, 21 games. There's not a bad one. So I trust that if Link is playable, there's a really good reason. So it's surface disappointment, because I'm okay with trying something new. Some people aren't ready to make that leap. Some people still don't even know that this is a mainline Zelda game. This is not a spin-off. This is not taking place in some,
it's part of it.
It's part of the whole thing. So, And then there's also other things. What if, like you said, it's just at the beginning of the game where
Mhm.
he's like that scene that we saw where he's fighting Ganon and then
Yeah.
he shoots Zelda out of her crystal, that we don't see him again until the end. Maybe
Yeah.
we play that part, because remember, Tears of the Kingdom, I don't remember any Zelda having that kind of opening. I
Yeah.
mean, you see the title and then you're down in the depths or underneath the castle. And Link
Yeah.
is playable during that. You're not doing a lot, but he's playable. So maybe it's that type of scenario. Or the other thing I was thinking is, since Zelda can make all these echoes, I wonder if Link's going to be an echo, because you can echo living things. So, and then my third one is, what if there's a dark world and Link's in the dark world and he's down there like doing dark world stuff?
I know.
If I get a whole other level about that, because A Link to the Past had a dark world, A Link Between Worlds,
A Link Between World.
Yeah, it's kind of a way to mash more game into like a quote unquote smaller space, if you will, because it is considerably a smaller game, like size wise, than like a Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, that sort of thing. But again, because Nintendo it always seems like they're telling us too much, but then you get the game and it's like, I didn't know this was in here. I didn't know this happened or that
Just
happened.
like the depths and Tears of the Kingdom, we never knew about them at all.
Never. We didn't even see even a hint of them in the trailers.
Nope.
I don't think. Yeah. So it was like, what do you mean go down to the depths? Why are there craters? Oh God, I have to jump into that. You know. So again, what I think in my head, it's kind of like, well, if he is playable, I trust the Zelda team knows what they're doing with their own characters. So it's still going to be an enjoyable experience. So it's not a deal breaker. I'm not worried about it buying it day one. It's going to be fine.
Quick question: Would you guys like me to show what exactly is what it says, the rating for ESRB, and read it to you? Let me know in the chat if you guys want me to go ahead. I mean, it doesn't spoil it. It just kind of gives you like a little recap of the game.
It's really not anything that we don't know, except for the Link part.
Yeah, there's real no big details on it. Let me see if you guys can see it.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if the fact that the ESRB pointed out it's Link with the sword. I can think of a couple reasons why they would say that. One is because they don't want to confuse people. Like, well, wait, I thought this was starring Zelda. Now it's why, and she wasn't going to be with the sword. I'm confused. But I kind of wonder why they didn't just put mild cartoon. What is it, like mild cartoon violence or whatever the case is?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they didn't use a more general description. So I said, I feel like, and then there's other Nintendo YouTubers who have shown me the light that the real leakers out there are actually people from Nintendo. So, like Anuma's been leaking all the Zelda Gate remakes for years.
10,000 noodles, like ready T for tingles.
10,000 noodles is okay. He's great.
Here's the rating summary. So it says this is an adventure game in which players assume the role of Zelda as she attempts to dispel rifts throughout Hyrule and rescue Link. So there, right now, at least you see you play as Zelda and you rescue Link. From an overhead perspective, players explore various environments while fighting stylized enemies, humans, creatures. As Link, players use a sword and an arrow to defeat enemies. Zelda can use a magic wand to summon creatures. Wind up, knights, soldiers, slime. For battle, some enemies can be defeated by being set on fire. That's brutal. Other creatures dissolve in mist when defeated. Battle sequences are somewhat frenetic, with several enemies fighting at once.
Why did they have to tell us it was Link with the sword? Why didn't they say at times characters will be able to use a sword?
Yeah. So
the bokoblins are so cute when they're not like chasing after you with drool.
Yeah, I'm like,
her bokoblin's so cute. I want one now.
You can defeat some enemies by setting them on fire. I'm like, whoa, that's so dark.
You can do that in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, though.
Yeah.
You just got to be creative enough if you feel like doing all that.
It sounds horrible when you actually read it. Like, let's set them on fire.
So who allowed this type of summary?
And
because I
nobody
feel like
did.
that
It's a leak. It's a leak. So it's
so the thing, so that's the other thing I was gonna say. So if it's from the ESRB, so is it really a leak, or is it like
it's an
I feel
unwelcome
like they
leak.
didn't have to say that.
Yeah, they didn't have to. They just put it on their website, but they didn't have to do
well.
it. You
Oh
know.
well. But
Yeah.
now we get to find out what he does with said sword, and if it's just one scene or if it's for the whole thing. So
Yeah, and there's a lot
still
of
happy with
there's a lot of videos out there breaking down this like literally by detail. This
Yep.
look, this word this has a capital T. That means Tingle's involved in the game. The letter L in Link is also capitalized. That means you can have lots of people in enemies. It's
hey, hey Mike, just so
Yeah.
you know, Tingle is low key, but he is in Twilight Princess. Another reason why you need to play that game. Remember, you have a huge final coming up after you play all the games.
I'm still playing Ocarina of Time and enjoying it. So I'm taking
I
my
don't.
time.
And then you got to play Majora's Mask, and then you got to play.
Oh, do I have to?
Yeah, you do.
Do I have to? Okay.
Do you have any idea how heartwarming Majora's Mask is? Lily, tell them.
Do they have it on 3DS also?
It is Majora's Mask is also 3DS.
3DS.
I can show you my Majora's Mask poster over there, but it's hanging on the wall.
I'll buy it for 3DS if they have it on 3DS.
It is very heartwarming. There's a lot of heartwarming stuff.
Okay. Yeah, for those of you guys that know, I have my 3DS and I'm purchasing all of the games for 3DS, but just so that I can play on my computer. That's basically it. So I'm doing it the legal way. I'm buying the games and I'm just basically playing on my computer. That's what you gotta do.
That's
but yeah, we got pigs, we got soldiers, we got slime, we have knights, and they can be defeated by setting themselves on fire.
Are we sure it's slime and not gloom?
I don't know.
See, I actually have questions now. See, I have actually more questions.
Yeah. So, okay, Paul, what do you think? Does it change the game for you? If it's confirmed that we have to rescue Link here, but does it hurt the game for you if you have to play for Link for more than half of the game?
No. Since they showed off that first trailer,
Mm-hmm.
I right away thought, I think you're going to play as Link through one whole dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Like in this world, Link did go through an adventure. Obviously, he had to rescue Princess Zelda, and we're taking control of him when he enters Ganon's castle. And it's going to be one whole dungeon playing as Link. You get to the end, you beat the last boss. So it's not a whole gameplay experience. It's just, a few hours of entertainment, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You get to Princess Zelda, and then you take over her, and this is the game. Now, even from the beginning, though, I was like, I have a feeling it's not going to be entirely a Zelda experience, because when Link fell in that chasm, it's what I thought they might have done with Tears of the Kingdom when Princess Zelda fell. When we saw those first shots of Princess Zelda falling in Tears of the Kingdom, I thought maybe we'll play as Link in the present and Zelda in the past. Or
it was a huge.
Yeah, I thought that too. I thought that we that at least in Tears of the Kingdom, because it made perfect sense. That's why I believe that if they were to release a Warriors game, it would be awesome to play. They do it in the past with Zelda. When the first leak came out that Zelda would be a playable character, I said Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors but Zelda.
Sadly, it's not mainline. Okay, Hyrule Warriors is not. Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Hyrule Warriors, but Zelda in the past, and then all the other, little agents and stuff like that. Let me get. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I think that this time around they might do what a lot of us thought, and that is Link falls down into some pits, and it would be super cool if it was co-op in some way, but probably not. Maybe like a Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, where you're shifting between light and dark, or maybe just like a Skyward Sword where you're going between past and present and you're doing puzzles like that. So maybe you're switching between Link and Zelda, and certain things that Link does in the underworld affects this mountain or this range for Zelda, and then certain things that she does unlock something down below. So I think if it is like a 50-50 thing, it's probably not what some people wanted. But just looking at the first trailer, I don't think most people thought you're only going to play as Zelda in this game because the way the teaser started off. But who knows?
But if you look here, if you look here, this is gameplay. Like right here, like this part.
That's what I think. I mean, it could not be, right? They could just completely make it look that way. But I think you're going to play through a whole dungeon, and then this happens. Now, maybe it's time sensitive. Maybe it's not like, okay, right away you could pick up as Link. Maybe you play through a half the game or something like that as Princess Zelda, and then you finally unlock Link as playable.
Yeah, Zelda's so adorable.
And if they're in two different worlds, I don't know if co-op necessarily makes sense because you can't really split screen that. But if they were playable on the same screen at the same time, a co-op would be beautiful because then you could have somebody play as Link. So think of it like, do you remember Super Mario Galaxy, where the main player played as Mario, but somebody held the Joy-Con and shot the star bits?
Yeah.
Or in Super Mario Odyssey, one person played as Mario, and then the second person could play as Cappy. So if it gets to a point where Link and Zelda are finishing off a portion of the game on their own on the quest, that would be pretty cool because it's simple enough, and you don't have to worry about 3D and going too far off and split screening, because the way this game is going to work is the rectangle is going to get so big, and then you can't go farther. To have Link and Zelda cooperatively play together, but I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. Just would be fun because someone's playing as the Link with invincible arrows and can't really get hurt as a bonus. Nintendo does like to do that once in a while, like Luigi's Mansion 3. You had Luigi and Gooigi. They give a second player an experience to do something that's a simpler task, but that's fun. And it's also a good way how to get people into a franchise is by this, second player. So, yeah. I don't think to answer the question quickly, I don't think playing as Link for half of it's going to ruin it. It would be cool if it was like a 90% Zelda quest, but I love Link and I love Zelda and I love the music that comes with these and the lore and the other characters. So it's so much more than just who you get to play as. Even though it is just neat to play as somebody else.
Oh my gosh, when we get Cass, and he's like a little Cass, and he's all cute and adorable, and he has a little accordion.
Yeah.
I want that in life.
There's a lot to explore here, right? Because back here you can see this area by Death Mountain. I'm guessing this is this right here around this area, right?
Well, you see the Gerudos over there as well.
Yeah.
On that screen cap, you can see.
Back here?
The Gerudos are in the desert. They're not near Death Mountain. Death Mountain's like on usually.
Oh yeah, but I mean on the next
this
screen
area.
chat. Yeah, she's over there.
That's Gerudo.
Yeah.
Yep. But you can see them there. That's what I'm saying. Like on this particular, like they are shown here, which makes you think that it's not from.
This is Death Mountain right here. Right?
That's probably Death Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, most likely it is.
That's pretty cool.
Also the two Zoras as well.
This reminds me of the little character from the Mario movie. Forgot the name of the little star.
Luma.
Luma.
The sad one who was just like, we're all abandoned.
He's just evil. It's not even sad. That's like demonic.
That's the evil Luma.
Yeah. That just made it so much.
He was just up there just swinging.
Yeah, I was like,
sorry, I remember that.
Finally, the sweet relief of death. So horrible. But yeah, I mean, did everybody answer about the playable Link character?
I did not.
Go ahead, Eddie.
I guess that like Paul and Joycey already, and also you, Mike, covered pretty much the whole idea as to what is going to be a possibility here. Like if we're going to be able to play with Link at the very beginning, and or probably it could be like a very small portion of the game, just like you did in Phantom Hourglass, for example, when you were using Zelda spirit to control the knight and all of that. So I don't know, there's so many things and so many questions here that I don't want to speculate based off.
Go ahead, speculate. It's fun.
I know it's fun, but I don't. There's so many options. That's what I'm trying to say, and I feel that if I have my high hopes, I'm not gonna be surprised. And I'm like, Nintendo, please surprise me. Like, I do have confidence enough in this Zelda team, of course, that they're gonna have a great reason to do the things the way they're doing, and also I wouldn't mind playing as Link. I have to say it, even though I really admire Princess Zelda all the time. I'm a more linked towards Link. I prefer Link over Zelda. That's the way I feel. And having the opportunity to put them together, that'll be an amazing thing for a lot of people out there. They're like, wait a minute, I thought I was playing a Legend of Zelda game, and they're gonna be like, why am I not using a sword? Why am I not using a shield? And for those of you that don't know like context, it kind of makes it a little bit more it makes more sense for a lot of people out there. But also they have to be very careful that they're buying a game where Princess Zelda is gonna be the main character, right?
Yeah.
So don't get disappointed also on the other side that you're not going to be playing as much as Link, right? As you will probably think. So yeah, I feel that I'm leaning more towards the possibility of starting right away and using Link, going through a dungeon, fighting Ganon, attempting to fight Ganon. Yeah, and then that happens, right? So or it could be also what Paul said, that it could be part of a memory, sort of like you start with Zelda, you kind of get a little bit of a cutscene, then now you have to save Link. But then after, I don't know, looking into some of the puzzles, putting pieces together and so whatnot, then you get back to a memory where you kind of just play as Link, so you can kind of understand what happened, the context, the story behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
But also we don't have confirmation either about which map we're talking about. Like, I feel this is a link between this is a Link to the Past and a Link Between Worlds map. This is not Link's Awakening map.
It's a new map. It's a map based on the Links of the World, but it's a newer map because it has for example, Death Mountain is where it is. I've been watching a whole bunch of videos basically breaking down this entire map. It is a very similar map to Link to the Past and a Link Between Worlds. And they can eventually make a remake for those games using this map.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just a newer map of Hyrule that kind of mixes what a Link to the Past was with a newer modern what we know Hyrule as today. I know when I'm playing Ocarina of Time and Link to the Past was before that. I could just go around and see Death Mountain there. No, I know where everything is, and so I think this is kind of done in that way, because if you play a Link to the Past, unless you don't know. Is there a Death Mountain in a Link to the Past?
Not exactly.
Right.
I mean, it's
Turtle Rock. Yeah.
I know there's an area here with like desert. There's another area that looks more like desert over here. There's a
mountain area, but
there's a mountain.
It is kind of, but it's not as exciting as it is in later games.
Yeah, because I know you go to the top of the mountain. That's where you actually change and go to the dark world.
And Ganon's Tower is up there. Turtle Rock is up there.
Yeah, so
he's up there.
I think it's just a brand new map that is kind of based on and more inspired a little bit, but it's a new map overall. That's what a lot of people have been saying, and it's good. It's good. It's a more modern map, and I hope that we do get a Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds like this, because it'll be awesome.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
The question is this, let's say, after one of those games that we're gonna get that's a remake, right? Let's say a Link to the Past, right? We defeat Ganon, and then this happens. right away. We go in, we defeat Ganon, we rescue Princess Zelda, and then this is where it takes place, where we fall into the drift and all that stuff, right? So where in the timeline, we know it's near that, but that's another video. It's a deeper video than that.
Yep.
When it comes to Zelda and Link, playable characters, I'm just gonna say it. I want to say, I know you guys are gonna crucify me in the chat. Not a real Zelda fan. I'm gonna say I am on the boat where I want Zelda to play for 99.9% of the entire game. Link, maybe the beginning a little bit. I'm even happier if it's a cutscene, But I want this to be I want this to be.
I'm on that boat.
A full.
That's the same thing. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
when I say that I prefer Link, I'm not saying that I don't want to play this as Zelda. I mean, think about it. This is the first time that we're going to be able to do this because Zelda has been playable on other games, but not mainline games.
Yeah.
They're completely different things. Like you can play as Zelda in Smash or Hyrule Warriors, but that's not part of the mainline.
This is a mainline game for Zelda.
Yeah.
As the main character. So
yeah.
To me, I want Zelda all the way 100%. And so I'm super ecstatic, just like everybody is. But I'm super ecstatic that I get to, play this game as Zelda. I got Luma here, kind of whispering little evil stuff in my ear, telling me to clone things and dead people.
She's good. She's good. Her name's Try. She's different.
I know.
She's good.
I know it's Try. Yeah.
It's not anything like Navi.
What I think. Sorry, go ahead, Joyce. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just rambling.
But just adding to what you said, Mike, in terms of you're not wrong and no one is going to say anything bad. What I feel I'm seeing a lot of people complaining about, and I don't really understand why, is that they want a Zelda, Princess Zelda to be able to use a sword and a shield. To do as like
I've never seen her. She's a powerful kind of. She uses magic a lot.
That's what I'm trying to get to exactly.
Yeah, even in Breath of the Wild, she stopped Ganon for 100 years with her magic,
and that's where I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
So I think it's perfect that they gave her the magic and Link the sword, because why would they give her a sword too? This doesn't make
exactly.
Link is the chosen one. He's the one who can only wield the Master Sword, not Zelda. And
as a woman, Lily, how does that make you feel?
Well, but people say bad or good.
Oh, because it makes me feel a few different ways, and none of them are positive.
As a woman, it makes me feel that.
Yes, Mike.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that people sometimes don't understand her role. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that she's not capable as a woman to wield a sword. She is. I'm saying that that's not her role. Mm-hmm. That's not what she is. She's not a warrior. She could learn to be one, but she's not a warrior.
So for those people, I recommend play Breath of the Wild, because in Breath of the Wild, she's on the mission, like at least in the scenes, like on the mission to find her purpose, like to discover the power within her, and then she eventually does, but it'll kind of help you understand her a little bit and to kind of have empathy with her role. She's like the incarnation of Goddess Hylia, right? And she has this Super Saiyan being within her that she has to unleash, but she's having trouble connecting to that, and then at the end she becomes a Super Saiyan, and then she defeats Zebra.
Super Saiyan.
I was gonna say Zebra. Zebra.
That part's not canon, but good enough.
No,
good enough, Mike.
She defeats Frieza, and then or Krillin. Man, we couldn't save him, but we can wish him back.
This is the fifth timeline.
We can wish him back. Krillin is awesome.
Yeah.
But
having said that, I do hope she gets a bow at some point, because she has been using bows sometimes. So
yeah,
is her thing.
Yeah. I agree. But I think it's gonna be an awesome game. What do you guys think? Any last thoughts before we go to Q&A?
I just realized how cool this would be. I said it would be neat to have a 2-player co-op part if they're both on screen at the same time, because you could make it work. And then I just realized, if the final boss battle is 2 Link and Zelda on screen at once, you could have a cool boss battle like you did in the Wind Waker, but with 2 people, working in tandem to bounce arrows off of this and magic off of that and summoning this and that. That would be cool. Anyways, I just thought of the real boss battle and how neat that would be.
Yeah, yeah, that is awesome. I wonder who the final boss is. Will it be Ganon?
Hopefully not, but I think it is.
That's a great
only
question.
because it's Ganon's trident, which we haven't seen Ganon's trident in a while. I don't think. His trident's what opens that chasm in the first place. So it, if nothing else, it has something to do with him. But I think a better twist would be Zelda fighting Ganon, and then we find out, because this is a mainline game, guys. Okay. And then we find out there's something that's been controlling Ganon or something of that nature, and we're introduced to somebody else. That would be interesting.
Demise and chibi form, like looking like all little adorable and everything.
Yep.
But that's the problem, though. Demise is kind of
Ganon.
No, he's not. They're two completely different people. His hatred just reincarnates, and Ganon just happened to be the guy that wants to be the embodiment of that hatred.
Let me get this right. Let me get this wrong. Reincarnation is the spirit of the person being born in a new person. That's where reincarnation is.
It's just his hate. It's just his hate. So Ganon's not demise. Ganon is still his. The way that Skyward Sword explains it, Ganon is still his own person. But he has this. But it's that hate, that curse that demise put on them. That's what's living on. Demise is technically
dead.
Technically in this, but he's in the sword. But he's dead in the sword, and Fi is technically in the sword. So are they really, really dead?
They're married. They have family.
Nintendo, hire me. I will fix the timeline.
Let's just live,
or at least hire Paul. He at least knows how to get in touch with me.
Demise and Fi live happily ever after. They probably have a little family in there. Just living their lives.
Fi would never desecrate herself with the likes of Demise. She deserves better. Also, she's kind of like in love with Link. That's a weird thing. That's also in
what?
You know what would be really cool?
You're gonna confuse him, Joycey.
Not just the first Zelda game where we get to play as Zelda, but I'm talking another game where we get to go back to the world of Twilight Princess and play as Midna in her domain post Twilight Princess. That would be cool.
That's too complicated for me.
Right? I loved who she became by the end, and I don't want to spoil things for Mike.
She hasn't become anything for me yet. I don't even know who he is. She is. So
okay. I liked who she was, and who she became blew me away. And certain things were so touching and so emotional. And with the title and what you find out and all this stuff, I'm speaking in circles for Mike, but you all know what I'm talking about. Lily, Joycey, chat, Samavu. I want to go back into her doing stuff, and that would be a fun game. I mean, Zelda is so big, and there's so much you could do. We've all gotten used to brilliant Legend of Zelda games playing as Link, but there's really a lot more. I mean, you could release an entire $60 game of Sheik and just what happens with that character in the 7-year time frame of Ocarina of Time, and that would be like an awesome thing. A Ninja Gaiden-esque action-y game, planting, treasure chests and stuff like that for Link, the hero of time, to...
I understand when you say 7-year gap of Ocarina of Time. I understand because Link just woke up 7 years later and lost his life and stuff, and he's now like an adult.
You got to that point, huh?
Yeah, I'm already. I'm in. Where am I? I passed. I became an adult. I went to this place in the mountains, and after that place in the mountains, I got a golden chicken, a blue chicken. Give me a blue chicken. The blue chicken.
The trading sequence for the big horse sword.
Yeah, I woke up the lazy guy, the fat guy that's like lazy in the house.
Mario.
Mario, basically.
He's modeled after Mario.
I got Epona about 5 times already because I keep getting like losing Epona, and then I have to go to the thing and then racing this this Luigi guy or Waluigi.
But what about temple wise? Which ones you finished already?
I'm in the temple, the one in the forest.
Forest Temple.
Okay, the first temple.
Yeah,
The first one.
that's easy to remember.
It is.
The forest, the temple.
Oh,
I already did the mouth of the fish thingy.
I'm glad you've already met. I'm glad that you've already met Sheik in that case.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything with that character, but now you can see that that character wasn't around necessarily 7 years ago, but now is. And
Mhm.
I've always thought like this was 15-year-old Paul when I was playing it back in the day.
Mhm.
All these
Hey, Paul, did you lose 7 years of your life too, Paul?
what?
Paul, did you lose 7 years of your life too?
Maybe. I always pictured it this way, as adult Link finding grottos throughout Hyrule Field, this and that. Why are these treasure chests here? Who put them? Who put these hidden messages? I always thought it was Sheik trying to help out Link, when he would eventually wake up. That was what I made. And then I came up with my own idea of a game of Sheik, or one day having an Ocarina of Time remake, and it's this amazing game just expanded in size by 3 times. Not as big as Breath of the Wild because it changed the conventions too much, but expanded it in 3 times with the voice acting and the CG and like the whole stuff and beautiful cutscenes and new gameplay mechanics and better physics and all that shebang. Fully orchestrated music, more depth in the lines of dialogue, in the script and the writing.
Yeah.
And then in between this Sheik portion that you can play. And that way it doesn't change the game formula, but it does add something to it. And I think it's just different.
Yeah.
I would love
The
it. But
adventure of
if we start talking
Sheik.
Ocarina of Time remake ideas, that's another hour.
Yeah, well, let's go over to a Q&A. That's a good segue because we got our first question from AB James.
We'll see
How many dungeons do you all think we're gonna get in the game? I'm gonna say 4 dungeons. I think it's a pretty small game with Zelda. And I think we're gonna get a water dungeon. We're gonna get Death Mountain. We're gonna get Gerudo, and we're gonna get the fish people. Forgot the fish people. Fish people.
Zora.
Yeah, the water thingy.
I think,
and of course one thing underground. Like so, I guess that counts as a dungeon.
I think just if they go the traditional 2D Zelda route, it's going to at least be about 10 dungeons. I think they're usually about 8 to 10, right?
Or 12, yeah.
Or 12. Yeah.
What I mean is for example, Tears of the Kingdom only had
But that's Tears of the Kingdom.
But
This
that's
is
3D
2D
Link to the
Zelda.
Past had like 13.
Yeah, Link to the
So
Past.
I
has
think
a
this
13.
game could have 8 at least.
But
At
here's the thing,
least.
though.
What do you guys call?
Unless if there's this dual dark world, light world kind of thing, then it might be 4 beefy ones or 6
Yeah.
beefy ones.
What do you guys call dungeons though? Because maybe I'm confusing that.
The big place where you have to get all the things and unlock all the things and fight a boss. So there are dungeons in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. In Breath of the Wild we call them Divine Beast. In Tears of the Kingdom we still call them temples. Those are still dungeons. They just weren't traditional. What you're seeing in Ocarina of Time, those are some of the best dungeons in the entire series, but those are what people consider traditional dungeons. What you're seeing in Ocarina of Time. And then when you play the 2D games, those are also traditional dungeons. So I'm kind of hoping they'll stick with that. I like Tears of the Kingdom's dungeons. I wasn't as crazy about the Divine Beast. I like why they were there, but they weren't my favorite.
A Link Between Worlds also had 12. I think it was like split 4 and 8 between Hyrule and Lorule. So that's another way how they did it.
Okay,
but just to clarify, I think that the major difference between the two is 3D Zelda games and 2D Zelda games. So because you are playing, Ocarina of Time, we're talking about temples. So it's a whole 3D world. Tears of the Kingdom is one. Breath of the Wild is a 3D world. Even Skyward Sword. So all of those are 3D, but the 2D kind of top-down kind of gameplay.
More like open world and top-down.
Like a Link's Awakening had 9. The smaller ones, I think they could have more because it takes not to say less time in a derogatory way, but
Yeah.
that is just a fact. It does take less engineering to come up with it. Still plenty of creativity, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
just less engineering and less art and resources and animations and stuff like that to make this full environment.
I played Link's Awakening, and I had to go through several dungeons to collect all the little instruments.
Those are like the classic dungeons. Yes.
Yeah. So
Let me give you an
switched it up
example.
because it made 100 shrines. And
Yeah.
those 100 shrines.
I do.
Mini dungeons.
I do, and how would I put this? I like the dungeons better and Tears of the Kingdom than I did than I do, and of course because they're bigger, they're grander, they're just a lot better. When it comes to exploration wise, then I feel like these dungeons for Ocarina of Time, and this is maybe like a just opinion just because it's an older game. I feel like they're a lot simpler than the ones like, for example, the Fire Temple in Tears of the Kingdom. I love that. That's not my favorite. That's my favorite temple. There's so many
the Tears of the Kingdom one is confusing.
Yeah, I love that one. Like the more puzzles and the more confusing it is, the more I love it. Like because I like to, and I don't like using guides for anything. I need to. So
then you'll like 2D. Then you'll like 2D Zelda. Just to kind of give you, when we were talking about the time part, not when I very first played it. It was after I basically memorized A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
A Link to the Past. If I sit down, no breaks, 6 hours.
I played A Link to the Past all the way. I played A Link to the Past all the way to you get to the top of the mountain, and then you first enter the other world. That's as far as I've gone.
But you have to remember, this is somebody who's memorized everything. I don't get hit. I don't none of that anymore. I know where all the secrets are. But so
yeah,
but wait, let me finish. All I'm trying to say is when you play it for the first time, it's going to take a little while longer just because there's all the stuff you got to find then. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is a seasoned Link to the Past player.
But that's not. I don't think that applies to what I'm saying. I'm saying that when I play a game for the first time, I don't like to use guides. If it's a puzzle game, I don't like to use guides at all. If it's a puzzle, if it's like a dungeon that you have to figure out where to go and where the key is to open this door and to get the compass and get the map and all that stuff, that I don't like to know where everything is. I want to explore myself and get there. You know what I mean?
Pretty much all Zelda games then.
Yeah.
They didn't lose that part. They just did something different in Breath of the Wild with the Divine Beasts, and then put all the main puzzles they would normally put in dungeons. They put them in shrines. That was the difference. Yeah.
All right. So
the main traditional dungeons are kind of where it's at.
I'm gonna go with 10 to an average of 10.
To me, I find the top-down dungeons a lot easier to finish. Like super easy.
They're shorter and yeah.
They're I feel like it's like they're basic. They're kind of basic, you know. And maybe because I'm a geek. I'm a puzzle guy. Like I love puzzles. I've solved like very, very, very difficult puzzles, and so I love puzzles. And maybe that's the first time you're hearing about me. But I enjoy puzzles. I've been doing puzzles all my life. So when it comes to like solving things, it's like I want to be challenged to the if it's difficult and it takes me 10 times, I enjoy it more because I never give up.
The challenge, yeah.
I don't like I actually enjoy when I can't solve something. So Rainbow Love here we got or Demise. Demise is wait, is that the original answer?
No.
Okay, so that's not the question. Where is it? Okay, this one. There you go. Will Zelda unmute in EOW like Link?
Echoes of Wisdom like Link.
I don't think so. I think she talks with Try.
Link also talks, by the way.
Zelda nor Link are mute and never have been.
Yeah,
that's still a misconception about that because Link doesn't talk where the player can hear it. Yeah. But now that they're finally realizing he has his own personality, now we might in the future hear him speak, but he's never been mute. Mute is someone who doesn't have use of their vocal.
Yeah. But I understand what they're saying. Like because we're now in the person of Zelda, will she have text instead of doing what Link normally does, which is kind of like just
Now that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I think we're gonna see text from Zelda. I think she's gonna have a conversation too. I think just because we've been used to that. I'm not sure if they're gonna change it, but I think so. They, Paul, what do you think?
I think she's gonna have quite a bit of dialogue, and that'll be the distinction between her and Link is that she talks a lot.
yeah.
Maybe not a ton, but yeah, she'll talk.
All right, so this is from the conversation before, where we were talking about Ganon being a reincarnation. So Ganon is just the same guy, isn't he? I think that for the majority of the time he's just the same guy. Like just comes back and he keeps resurrecting. That scouting guy that we fought in Tears of the Kingdom was the same Ganon that we've been fighting before, right? In previous
I apologize. I was actually talking to Rainbow Love in the chat. So we were trying to figure out exactly what happened and who's who in Skyward Sword and everything. Ganon.
So this is not the question.
I was trying to explain it, Mike.
Okay.
It's okay. But yeah, we kind of talked about it in the chat.
Okay, that's good. Here, is this a question or is this like a?
I started one of the questions. You'll find it there.
Where?
On the started section.
Started section. Oh, cool. Thank you for doing that.
You can put a star on them.
How many dungeons? Okay, so the next question. All
Yep,
right.
there
You go. So what do you guys think the best price possible for Switch 2 is going to be at launch? $399, $499. I am going to go with $399. I hope. You know what? I really hope that Nintendo keeps the same price point. They just offer two different versions of it. If they do offer the base model $349, keep it at the OLED priced model, and then because the thing is that Nintendo apparently, according to rumor and according to credible resources, leakers out there, Nintendo is releasing an LCD model, an 8-inch LCD model, but not to be confused with the LCD from years back. It's a newer version of LCD. It's a mini LED, which is kind of compared to OLED, just not as expensive to produce. And it also produces very, very good colors, dark blacks, and all that stuff. It's not as good as OLED, but it's expecting Nintendo to go with that to cut costs on the system. And if they want to cut costs, they're looking to keep it at the same price they've been selling that. I think it's the perfect price point. Nintendo doesn't have to be a $500 console. They can maintain their price point between $250 to $349, right? Depending on what they're doing. And if they're cutting costs with that LCD model, I wouldn't mind seeing a $349 base model and a $399 OLED model. Later on, once they go with that OLED model, I'm not sure if they're ever going to release a light version, which at that point I would say $249 for that light version, but eventually a price hike from the base model. It's still a price hike because the first model was only $299, right? The base model, and so going from $299 for the base to $349 for the base is $100 price for $50, $60, yeah, around $50 there. And so keeping it at $349 and $399, I think for most families is a good price, because remember this, Nintendo's not only looking to sell one system per household, they're looking for multiple systems per household, because we're looking at a hybrid model instead of like a PlayStation is just there, like that big giant beast that I have there. Xbox right here, this, oh my god, look, this, this right here, this mini fridge that I have here is my Xbox Series X. I cannot buy more than one of these things. Where am I going to put it? You know what I mean? So
but did you see with the Amazon Prime deal?
Oh yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy more than one Xbox, more than one PlayStation, and Nintendo is a family first company, although they're opening up for the third parties, and because it's a handheld system. When it's on handheld, I'm pretty sure there'll be your brother, your sister. You can't share with your, one person has to play on it. They're looking to sell multiple consoles right now in this household. We have about 5 switches. We got 5. We have 2 lights and 3. My daughters have 2 lights, and then we have 3. I have an OLED, a base model, and an edition model, right? And so, Paul, how many switches do you have in your house?
2 Nintendo Switches for the 4 of us.
So you have 2, and in Joycey?
3.
3, and you, Lily?
I'm gonna
About to be 4.
have 2. No, I only have 1.
And you have 2 with the Zelda one that you're getting now with the yeah. So just going by that, I don't think then, like, people are saying, oh, $500. No, it's never gonna go there. $399, $400, I think is for people to get more than one. That's $800 for just 2. I don't think Nintendo's gonna go that high. I think $349. Because they've already proven that with the OLED model, it sells at $349. I think that's going to be a good price for them. Don't be surprised if they keep the base model at $299 and $349 just because they want to sell more than one console. Remember, Nintendo is about they want to get the profit, but they're very smart when what they're doing. The more consoles they get per household, the more software they're going to sell. The more they're gonna stay on top, and so that's my 2 cents. Anybody want to chip in?
2 things. Number 1, Nintendo Switch, in some ways, by still being $300 in the last 7 years, actually received an $84.52 price drop, because with inflation, $300 from 2017 is worth $384.52 today, just by inflation, by minimum wage, etc. So if you're someone who's on the fence about buying a Nintendo Switch, thinking, I don't know, is this thing worth $300 still? Your $300 a day is going farther, longer than someone's $300 7 years ago. So it's held its own in price, because even though it hasn't gone down with everything else going up, it has in a way become cheaper without the price drop officially happening. Personally, though, to answer the Nintendo Switch 2 topic, I think $400 is the price. I really like this idea of 2 different models, but very different, I think, than what Mike said, but who knows what Nintendo's thinking. I like a $400 model with a dock and a $300 model without a dock, where you could buy the $100 dock on its own. That way, it's not a Nintendo Switch, a Nintendo Switch Lite. It's not a more powerful one, a less powerful, an OLED, a not. It's just, hey, here's the same model, backwards compatibility, works with the Joy-Cons, but you've got to have the bum, bum, bum. And if you want it as your TV entertainment device, you're paying $400. But if you only need one connected to the TV and you want to buy a second one, then it's only $300 to buy a second one for someone else in the family to have, instead of another $400 one. And then if later on you're like, oh man, I really wish I had that other dock, because now we have a second TV in the household, you don't have to feel bad. The $100 dock is separate. But that would be the most economical way, the most consumer-friendly way of doing it. Not 2 different power levels or screen sizes. That you release later. Don't do too much now to confuse the market, in my opinion, and do release more later on, so you get the, I don't want to say suckers, but you get the hardcore that, like, I got to get that model, I got to get that model, I got to get that model.
Yeah.
To happen. So unfortunately, I've got to go, but that was my last fun 2 cents. Where was my Paul when I needed? Where's Paul when I needed my math back in the
I had so much trouble in math growing up. Like, I would write term papers like right before class, like an hour before class. I'd write entire term papers. Math, I was in tutoring all day, all night, constantly. Yeah. Where were you, Paul, when I needed it? I barely pulled out an A. Barely.
All right, so
I've got to go at 8:00, unfortunately, or my time 8.
Yeah.
I was like, 8 o'clock. That's early. Yeah, your time.
But
There you go.
I
I miss the Pacific time so
have another
much.
engagement, but
Yeah, no, the thing is that we're normally an hour and a half podcast. We've been extending it the last two podcasts. We had to bring really back a little more.
We tried so hard
Yeah,
tonight, y'all, to
yeah,
hit 2 hours. We
but we do have
tried.
we do have one more question before we go. And I want to go ahead and before that, Joycey, go ahead and on the price, and then we can go at the next one.
Bye,
Paul's gotta go.
Paul. Thank you
So,
so
but
much.
good night, Paul.
Bye,
Have a great
Paul.
weekend, hun.
Good night. Take care.
I think the price on Switch 2
Mhm.
is going to be fair. So what
Yeah.
I mean by that is let's what was the PlayStation 5 when it came out? 600 or was it 500?
The
5 or
PlayStation
600?
5 or 500?
500.
It was 500.
499.
But what does the PS5, what all that power, all that stuff that you get, I would think that that's money well spent. So when it comes to Nintendo, I'm trusting them that they're going to have the games, it's going to have the power, it's going to do all the things that they want it to do. So whatever the price is, I think it's going to be fair. I think we could get away with a 400 price point, maybe 450, depending on what it can do. From what we're hearing, I think 400 could be good, but I don't know exactly what it does yet. I think a PlayStation 5 is worth $500. I thought my Nintendo Switches were worth, my OLED was worth whatever it was, $350 or whatever I paid for it.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where I stand on that.
Yeah.
Does it play Zelda? Then I'm buying it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope Nintendo, and I'm speaking for myself because I have two girls, I have a wife, and I have that Nintendo goes in a good price point that is good for families because in a family you're gonna get more than one for sure, and so believe it or not, $400 for me, a little much to buy two. It's $800 to buy three. It's $1,200. That's not gonna.
And then all the special editions,
and then all the games on top of that is it's not
and then
work.
the special edition, the games that are going to get special edition stuff too. Gaming's an expensive hobby.
All right, so the next one is: do you think Nintendo will drop Princess Joy-Con, Zelda Joy-Cons, like the way they did with Tears of the Kingdom and Skyward Sword? I think
Girl getting a whole Switch.
Paul's back. Hey, Paul, welcome back.
Yeah, false alarm. My other engagement ended up saying, "Oh, I texted you. Have to reschedule." So I was like, "Well, I didn't have my phone on me, so I'm back."
Okay,
Welcome back.
All right. So the question is: do you think Nintendo will drop drop Princess Zelda Joy-Cons like the way they did with Tears of the Kingdom and Skyward Sword?
I think he's talking about
she's
the
getting her own
controllers.
Switch.
Yeah, they just because they did a Switch Lite, Hyrule Edition. I think that's it for Zelda. That's
I think so
thing.
too.
Yeah. I want to see amiibos. I'm sorry, but I want to see that little adorable amiibos for Zelda and Link. I already have the cute Link from Link's Awakening. I already have one. I need the Zelda one.
Yep. Agree.
The level of cuteness that they are, and the fact that they take him so seriously, because Zelda has a serious tone to it, but every time he takes off that little cape and it's like this cute little baby,
like,
and he has a little sword.
Yeah.
So cute.
I know.
I want to pinch his cheeks.
I like when in the trailer when Link comes up with it and he takes off his robe like looking all cool and everything, but in that little TV form.
He looks like a little baby.
It's like, I know you're trying to look cool right now, but you just look too adorable.
He looks cool and cute.
It's like, Ganon, now you stop that, Ganon. You leave little Link alone. Now you two be friends. Kiss and make up.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think, Paul? Did we get your you already responded the price one? Did you Lily?
Oh, I was gonna go with $4.99.
Okay.
But yeah. And also about the question that was dropped, just to clarify, they're not Princess Zelda's Joy-Cons. Like Skyward Sword, it was Fi pretty much, like the sword. And then this one is Tears of the Kingdom, but like having a Princess Zelda theme Joy-Con or controller,
Yeah, I think they're gonna go with
Uh,
the overall theme of the game rather than just one character.
rather than just one. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
The design, the logo design is pretty cute.
yeah,
She is getting her own Switch though.
yeah, yeah. The
So
Hyrule.
I do like that. I mean, and yes, it's the Hyrule edition and everything, but in my mind, that's Zelda's Switch.
It is. It is for the game. It's for, yeah. It is.
It's for her game that
Yeah.
she's the star in.
Mhm.
And just like I have my Tears of the Kingdom Switch, which is Link's Switch, it's not in this room.
By the way, I gotta
And
say, I gotta say behind the scenes here, starring these questions, whoever's starring them, I want to thank you so much,
Lily,
because you
Man.
have no idea how hard I have to work to get these questions. I'm like, man, I don't want to miss any like that, and then having them there just start. Thank you, lady. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, so everybody answer that question. Paul, did you answer this question?
No.
This one? Oh no, I didn't. But I don't anticipate them having Joy-Cons for it since there is the Nintendo Switch Lite. But I could see Amiibo being shown off.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute. In a September Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's wait, hold up. The game comes out in September. September what? 2020 something. So it will be the direct will take place before the game comes out. So yeah, it's a perfect time to show off the amiibos.
A September 12th Nintendo Direct to have an amiibo announcement for the 26th when the game comes out. Maybe.
Yeah. But guys, I wholeheartedly believe there will be a Nintendo Direct in September. Nintendo has not broken their schedule yet. Even if it's not the same, maybe a Nintendo Direct Mini, right?
Mhm.
But they have not broken their schedule. Then in February we had a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. In June we had the Nintendo Direct, and in September now we had them in March, Indie World. But they have not broken their schedule. So far we might have another Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcase or whatever they want to have, but they're having something in September for sure. And like Paul said, there's also a meeting coming in August, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens then.
and that's in 2 weeks, right, Paul? You said
All right.
that financial meeting?
August 2nd is that quarter financial where now Nintendo Switch is at 144.89 million, and now the software is at 1,249,000,000. Like whatever. But yeah, that day they'll probably have some other talk.
All right,
We'll
we got
see.
the last two questions here before we head out. One from Hector. Am I saying it right? Hector Dexter. Will NS2 have music with its system operating to home screen?
Oh, like the Wii.
Hopefully, right? I mean, I like we mentioned before. Hopefully, even if it's like a reward, like a reward system or whatever, where you can actually add music points, or even if you need it or whatever. But hopefully, we get some little
Like
behind-
trophies. That could be our
Yeah.
like part of the trophy
Gamification.
achievement system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Paul? Will they have music in the back, or is music gone forever?
I
think
think
it's
this
gone
time they
forever.
will. I think part of the differentiating thing is going to be UI stuff, a little bit more custom
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
more gigs of RAM. If
Yeah.
if we're led to believe that it's 12 gigs total, I could
Mhm.
totally see a 2-10 split where 2 go to the CPU and 10 go to the GPU, and
Yeah.
that 2 to the CPU will be enough to not bog it down
Uh-huh.
and be too slow. Because every time you add music or a background or an image you could upload, that's slowing it down, and they want it to be snappy, especially if it's the Nintendo Switch Snap or something.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think music will be back, and folders. I think they're gonna do stuff.
Yeah. That's good. Let's go to the last question here by Christopher. Do you think Nintendo will bring Amiibo into the next generation, or will they discontinue? No, I think that Amiibo will live forever.
Mhm.
Amiibo is just such a cool way to not only buy little collectibles, because that's what they are, little collectibles, right? But to add the NFC feature to them and add little surprises inside of those collections. To me, it's like buying a cereal box and finding a little treat inside, right? You get two things into one. You get the cereal, plus you get the little treat inside, a little toy. Now they don't have that much anymore. They don't have the little stuff inside cereal anymore. But I love the fact that Amiibo, you get to collect them, plus you get to have that feature that adds like just another benefit to a game. And I know Link's Awakening had amiibo because there was an area in the game where you can actually build like a little dungeon, right? Build a dungeon,
Mhm.
but didn't you have to have an amiibo? Or there's a little character where there was I know there was a little character there that gave you the option. You have to go to him to kind of do an amiibo, right? In that little cave or somewhere. I remember I played that game.
Oh, in Twilight Princess, you needed the Wolf Link amiibo to unlock the Cave of Ordeals, which is like a really hard challenge mode. Well,
It is.
it gets hard. It gets hard.
I have the Wolf amiibo right now. I have it.
They reprinted it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. And anybody else want to answer this question?
Amiibo are coming out. They'll be
Yeah.
around. It's such a good opportunity for the collectors to do it without buying $500 statues.
I wish they got bigger though. I wish they got a little bigger. Like at least not I don't want statues, but I want something that is at least twice as bigger than the amiibo was, just so they can have like a at least.
It depends.
Maybe like what you said. It depends on what the game is for. If you have a Tears of the Kingdom game, maybe have like a little bigger of amiibo that could be a statue with Link, like a 4 figures, kind of half the size, and then you can also use it as an amiibo too, like you know what I mean.
But then I think about Skyward Sword's Zelda amiibo when she's with her Loftwing, and that's kind of a good sized amiibo, but it's the full Loftwing and
Or the Guardian amiibo.
The Guardian
Yeah,
amiibo is pretty
that's a
helpful.
good sculpt.
Yeah.
They can always, if they raise the whole line in terms of quality and size, that's one thing. Or if they kind of just keep the size around the same, but certain ones, like you remember Mega Yarn Yoshi? Mega Yarn Yoshi, he's like
That
this
is
big.
big.
Oh man, yeah. See, I like that because as collectibles, when you're not using them, then they become a little kind of decoration you can have on the side.
Mike,
You just got to get shelves.
You
More
know,
shelves.
That
When you run
just
out of
realized
space, you make more shelves.
do y'all know
That
what I
was
just
big.
like found out like last week? And I don't know how I didn't know this.
Yeah.
There's no Bayonetta 3 amiibo. So I have 1 and 2, and I'm like, it doesn't match. I need a third one.
I do
I'm
have
for real sad about that. You have what?
I have a big box like this.
Oh, the Trinity Masquerade
It has
collection.
3 amiibos inside for Bayonetta.
No, there's not a third one. They never made one.
No, not for
What
the
do you
third
mean?
game. Not for the third game.
Oh, there's Smash. There's Smash, and then there's Bayonetta 2, and then there's Bayonetta.
Let me go get it.
Mike
Okay.
has the Bayonetta 3 Collector's Edition box,
It's a
Yeah.
box. Yeah.
but not the
It's the
Bayonetta 3 Amiibo, which doesn't make
Yeah, that's what I have.
The
It's a
fact that they didn't make one, I don't understand why. She has 2 other.
Oh,
I
it
really
made
yeah,
it
it
It's
doesn't make sense.
It's like the 2 are lonely.
I really want an R-Wing amiibo, but I want the amiibo to
Yeah,
be able to
that'd
be
be
taken
amazing.
off the stand so I can fly around like this with it.
right.
Because
That'd be
I
awesome.
love Star Fox.
All right.
okay.
I think that's gonna do it for the podcast today.
Can I
We
say one
got-
more thing, Mike?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Paul, when we come to the pool party, I'll bring my amiibo and you bring yours, and we'll just like sit there and play amiibos like we're kids.
We can fight with them.
We can fight. We can play
Mm.
fight.
Wait,
So-
don't scratch it.
If you guys did not were not here at the beginning of the podcast, we debuted first original song, a full original song for the podcast. Okay, our own original song for the podcast. I'll play it at the end again one more time so you guys can listen to it, take a look at it, listen to it. It's a party song. You guys can party to it, whatever.
It's lit.
But before that, I want to go ahead and introduce our all-star cast, the ones who make this an amazing podcast and everything possible. Starting with Lily. Lily, thank you so much for being here. And where can we find you?
Thank you very much. You can find me as Lily Hyrule everywhere, pretty much, but especially on YouTube. So I am a little bit more active on YouTube. You'll see me live streaming. So if you want to hop into one of the live streams, just make sure that you go into the live section. I usually schedule them in advance. I'm streaming Luigi's Mansion 2 tomorrow, and I'm dropping the unboxing and first impressions of the Nintendo World Championships also in my channel.
Break it.
Yeah, so you'll find me there. all the time. So thank you very much. I love being here.
All
Have a
right.
great weekend, you guys.
What about your neighbor, the downstairs neighbor, Joycey J? Joycey, how are you today? Thank you for being here. And where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at DJ Joycey. I do not have my own YouTube. And also I wanted to say really quick, I know we didn't mention him, but you notice that one of our stars is missing. Shout out to Zach.
I was about to do it at the end.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Go
these
ahead.
things.
No, go ahead. Keep
Yeah,
going.
No, I'll let Mike know. I'll let Mike do it.
No, you can go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
No, I lost my flow.
It's
So I'll let
special.
you do it.
Joycey. Keep going.
I lost my flow.
Just shout out to Zach Hendricks Media.
Shout out to Zach. Zach.
That's why we got Paul.
Young Cav Zach.
All right. And Paul, where can we find you?
On YouTube and Twitter/X, I am at Paul Gale Network. On the YouTube side of things, if you've been following or maybe are new to my Legend of Zelda pool project, I uploaded another video of how that's coming along, which is pretty cool. It's going to take a couple more weeks. And on the Twitter side of things, recently I shared the Japanese sales charts yesterday from Famitsu, and that's been fun. And then probably tonight I'm going to have an NES Nintendo World Championships NES edition, deluxe edition unboxing video. I mean, you can see it a dime a dozen. It's going to be all over the internet. But if you want to see my unboxing, I'm going to do one too.
All right. That is awesome. Amazing. And you can find me here every Friday at the Time Podcast. And in a week, Mike Odyssey Show. It's a brand new show where we have different segments. Segments consist of level up news. Every level up news is going to have, basically, it's the news. But it's news like you never heard before, unless you watch Jimmy Fallon or anybody else. Tonight show kind of theme vibe thingy. I talk about the news, but I mostly kind of what do you call that? What's that word? I roast them. I roasted. So basically, I talk about the news, and in a family friendly way, I roast them too. So it's kind of funny, like jokey kind of thing. But that's the Mike Odyssey show. This September, you can find Paul and I on Indie Mania, which is a brand new show. Paul was just doing Indie Mania business today, an interview with a company that you will find out when in September. And in about 10 days, I take a plane out to LA to meet Paul in person and start production on Indie Mania. So it's exciting times. You guys are going to be blown away with what we put together because things are ramping up, things are happening, and we'll talk about it more as things progress. But yeah, things are getting pretty serious. That's all we can say right now.
Exciting.
Yeah. But thank you guys for being here at the entire podcast. I'm going to go ahead and play the original song. Leave the podcast on because I think you guys might enjoy it. I'm going to release 4 more songs. Okay, 4 more songs. I'm doing 5 because we're 5, right? We're 5. We all represent one day of the week, right? We all want to be Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, I'll be Monday. And I'll get 5 songs there for AP, and that'll be our original kind of little EP fun music party cast, which you can listen to here as a countdown every Friday. All right?
Yay! But before that, Zach's shout out.
Oh, that's right. Before that, I want to go ahead and shout out Zach Hendricks on his channel. Joycey got me discombobulated. And so, Zach Hendricks.
I didn't do anything.
You can find Zach Hendricks at Young Cap Zach on Twitter. And of course, I want to excuse Zach because first thing, he has work that he does about an hour away from his home. And so today there's been massive storms everywhere. Like yesterday here was horrible. And so he lives in the upstate Chicago area, and there's like big crazy stuff happening up there as well, along with the outage for it's been crazy. So, so he tried to make it in today, but he couldn't. He'll hopefully be here next Friday, and we can get to share more Zach with you here at the podcast. He is an amazing partner here and part of the Topics family. All right. So without further ado, I got 2 words for you before we let you go. Just 2. Number 1, Paul, what is it?
I was going for DX. Never give up.
Don't do that. We need
And
you.
Joycey and Lee at the same time.
Journey on.
Journey on. And without further ado, here is. It's called the Nintopic Podcast. I forgot the other part. The Nintopic Podcast Ride. Nintopic's Ride.
Friday's here, let's kick it off. Ready for the weekend, can't get enough. Got my crew, Mike, Paul, Joyce, Ladies laugh. Zach and Lily bring the fun, we're on the path. It's the Nintopic Podcast Ride. Electronic beats and friends by my side. Gaming news and tales we'll share. No better way to start a weekend flair. Turn it up, volume high. Nintendo vibes, flying sky. Press play, let's dive in deep. Catching all the secrets we keep. It's the Nintopic Podcast Ride. Electronic beats and friends by my side. Gaming news and tales we'll share. No better way to start a weekend flair. Shoulders quick, stories flow. Laughs and smiles as we go. Every Friday night so bright. Nintopic's podcast feels so right. Oh. From Mario to Zelda quests. Talking all the games we love the best. Choices, insights, Zach's big grin. Lily's got the news, let's begin. It's the Nintopic Podcast Ride. Electronic beats and friends by my side. Gaming news and tales we'll share. No better way to start a weekend flair. And always the story slow. Laughs and smiles as we go. Oh. Every Friday night so bright. Nintopic's podcast feels so